Good morning, good morning, good morning. I was up since 2 something this morning. I've been talking to my son, who's in Paris, and I find out my son is going to the Taylor Swift concert tonight. I was like, wait a minute, what? And he's going to the Taylor Swift concert. That's why he's there. And I asked him what hotel he was staying in. And he tells me, no, he's in an Airbnb in a penthouse. He says it's a 2-story apartment. I was like, get the hell out of here. So he has an outfit that he's going to be sending me that he for the Swifty concert. And I can't wait to see this shit. I really can't. But he's a Swifty. Didn't know that. That just goes to show you really don't know your kids. I said, wait a minute, why are you going? I said, why are you in Paris? He said, oh, he goes, well, we came in for the Taylor Swift concert. Get the hell out of here. So anyway, good morning. I wanted to come live because there's a few things that I wanted to talk about. I'm not going to be showing any kids being abused this morning because that was a little heavy too. And I really thought about deleting that live, but I'm not going to. So, but anyway, there's a young man that's missing out of Corpus Christi, and I'm sure you guys have heard. But what happened was I was up and I was happened to be on Facebook, and I caught this telecast or this live stream, and they were speaking about Sebastian. And then the guy that's there, Tony, I guess he's a private investigator that's working with Seth to help find Sebastian. So they were talking about the leak tape that I don't know how you call it leaked, because my understanding is Chris Proudfoot know he was being recorded, and the nasty things that came out of his mouth was quite disgusting. So, and at the time, someone brought up Caleb Harris, and then I noticed under where his name should be, it said find Caleb Harris. Now, I heard about it back in March, but I thought they found him. But then again, they were looking for the other young man that went missing, and that was stumbling around, that was at Luke Bryan's restaurant or bar and grill, whatever. So I guess I just lost track of that story. But Caleb has been missing since March 4th. March 4th, he's been missing. There's a $50,000 reward for Caleb. Now, when I looked at the timeline of what happened, it seems that this happened in New Braunfels. It's actually on the way to San Antonio, Corpus Christi, Austin. You go through New Braunfels, Texas, and he was a student, or he's a student at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. 21 years old. He happened to be out with his roommates for a while, and this was like almost 1:00 in the morning. He was actually seen on a doorbell camera playing with the puppy, and he had a roommate with him. Okay. Then it was 3 of them. They go back to the apartment. Around 2:00, they said that Caleb had ordered Uber Eats. They said at 2:44, he sent a Snapchat video to his sister that shows him playing with a puppy in the parking lot. 3:00 in the morning, he sends another Snapchat to his high school friend showing a bridge near the apartment complex. So that tells me he left the apartment complex and he was probably in that area. His cell phone last pinged or shared his location at 3:12. So at 3:20, Uber Eats driver, he left the order at the door. 11 o'clock Monday morning, his roommates find the delivery at the door. Hi, Wendy's mom. How are you? They find his delivery at the door. Now his truck is in a parking lot. His wallet and his keys were in the apartment, but he was gone. The police said there's no sign of a struggle. And this young man just up and disappeared. So the police has now issued, since May 2nd, they've issued all kind of requests for preservation. That means data detail, social media, Apple. They've served 37 search warrants to various cell phone and internet providers, and they've issued 19 subpoenas to various social media and cell phone providers. They have issued subpoenas for his financial records. They have served 7 search warrants to other cell phone providers. I'm trying to figure out how many cell phone providers. I don't know. They've reviewed his computer. You know, that's a lot of money. $50,000, and no one has come forward. I mean, they are looking this almost, it's over 2 months. So they said they've received 164 tips, 35 Crime Stopper tips, and 32 have been assigned to investigators to follow up. They said they're following up on every single tip. They also said they fully believe he's alive. He was either lured or taken or kidnapped in some sort of way. They're just hoping he can be found. 21 years old? But they are saying that foul play could be a factor. And I'm just like, wait a minute. So again, we have all of these young people that are gone missing. I dipped into Terry Lynn's yesterday and speaking about the evidence and where, where's the evidence? Where are they holding this evidence? Why aren't they telling anyone where this evidence is? Well, the cops are not going to tell you where evidence is. They're not going to tell anybody what they're doing with this evidence. I heard her say that some young woman she was with yesterday had found a pair of jeans or a pair of pants before she found them, before she found the one she found, and she called, and they never came out to pick up this evidence. So something with me, it just is not sitting right with them not coming out and picking up evidence and tagging or anything else. Terry Lynn said they told her to videotape it. And I'm like, wait a minute, what are these cops doing? Now, someone raised a question in the Facebook Live I was listening to. I didn't comment in whether or not Sebastian could have been put in a group home. If he was put in a group home, I would think instead of having people out looking and looking and looking, they would say that. They would say that. Now, I was in Miranda's yesterday, and she played the conversation that Chris Proudfoot had with someone, and he was calling this other private investigator everything but her name. She was a CUNT, this and that. So this guy, Tony, that was on this other Facebook Live, he was saying they tried to work together as a team, but there's no more working together. Gloves off. You guys can say what you want about them. And even if the cops told me not to look for my child, I will still be looking. Here's the thing. All of this back and forth between the Proudfoots and Seth. It's not. you're not helping to find Sebastian. The thing is, Sebastian is missing. Katie's not missing. Chris Proudfoot isn't missing. Katie isn't Seth isn't missing. Sebastian is missing. And Tony made a point. I don't care if the cops told me not to look or not. I'm going to be searching for my child. I'm going to be searching for my child. And if he was in a group home, people, I'm sure, see the news. They will say, hey, he's here. Now, all this back and forth and whether who was sexting who knew when he was abused, why they didn't do anything about it, whatever the case may be, there's a young man that's missing and has not been found. You have people out there searching for your child, and you're not. I understand that Katie and not Katie, what's her name? Nina, the ex-wife, and Chris had court yesterday. And to show you how much I care about it, I didn't even go look to see. It was in New Mexico. They had court for a custody issue about the daughter. I heard the ex-wife's interview. Well, it wasn't really an interview because she was just telling her story about how he treated her son when they were married or together. Married. I think they were married at the time. How he treated her son. How he threw them out. She went to, and then her mother brought her back. And the way he treated their daughter. I hear the shit that comes out of his mouth. And he needs a beat down. You know, he's threatening people. He's going to sue this one, sue that one. Why don't you take that energy that you have and go look for your stepchild? Go look for your stepchild. Take that energy and go look for your stepchild. That's what you need to do. There's been no sighting of Sebastian at all. And then the woman in the picture, the picture they said was Sebastian. The little boy's name is Joshua. And his mother, this woman was being harassed behind her own son. People got to stop that shit. As I said, when the cops got the information, they saw it. I'm sure they had already gone out. They had tracked that license plate. They had already went out and they did their due diligence. Why are you harassing people? For what? That's not helping anything. This woman was being harassed about her own son. After I said it, the cops had it. They had the license plate. I understand that Seth went down and he wanted to see it. And they wouldn't show him the video. The police had already did their due diligence. But some little sleuth tracked them down, started putting out their information. When are you guys going to learn that harassing people is against the fucking law? You could have caused this woman and her family all kinds of issues, which you did. Leave that woman alone. The police should have done better. They should have said, hey, we've already did our due diligence. We know this is not Sebastian. This young man is not him. They could have gave his name. They've already went and talked to the family and everything else. But they're holding everything close to the vest. Why? Because they're investigating. Are they investigating the mother and the stepfather or the dad, which they said Seth was at work? He's on video. He was on he was at the prison. Or is he a sheriff? No, he was at the prison. Let the cops do their jobs. Let them do their jobs. That's what we hire them for. Hi, Lynn. Good morning. Hi, Pickney. Good morning. Bush watchers. Yes. But again, the cops are not obligated to put everything out there. It's called an investigation. They put the stuff out of but Micah because they basically have closed the investigation. That's why when I heard that, that they had released the autopsy, the cops already knew. They already were privy to the 911 call. We didn't know. I'm still skeptical about the whole thing. Just like the whole thing with Ahmaud Arbery, when they said that he had broken into a home and he was shot. No, he was tracked down, chased down like a dog because he happened to be looking at a new bill. You had an ex-sheriff or an ex-deputy. You had his son who was in the Coast Guard and the neighbor who decided to track down this man, chase him down, and shoot him in the damn streets. That's what happens when you get too involved in shit, when you want to be the hero, and being a hero for what? It was a new bill. He was on the run. He wasn't going in to steal anything. What was he stealing? What was he going to put it in? He was running through a neighborhood. That was his way of dealing with, I forgot what, it wasn't like autism. I forgot what it's called. And he was planning on going back to college. His mother had been out of town on a business trip. And can you imagine getting that phone call that your child has been shot and killed because he was breaking into a home? And everybody that heard that story said, I doubt that seriously. It took them 72 days. 72 days to bring charges and to release everything they had. 72 damn days. Again, the police are doing their jobs. We might not know what they're doing. We're not privy to everything they're doing. Same case with Madeline Soto. When they said the investigation was ongoing, they were looking at the mom too. They're looking to see if there was any other people involved in all of this pornographic shit this man had on his phone, predominantly about Madeline. Let the police do their jobs. That's it. Let them do their jobs. And I said that I'm serious. I went in and I unfollowed that group. It's called The Mysterious Disappearance. But for some reason, I'm still getting freaking notifications. And when I go in to look about unfollowing, that option is no longer there. So now I think I need to go through everybody in the group and just, I have no idea how to get them off my Facebook feed. Because I went in and, no, I didn't say unfollow. I said remove from group. I said remove from group or leave group. That's what I said. Leave group. Good morning, M. Witt. Good morning. Now, I was listening to something on IG the other day, and they brought up the name Glenn Rogers. I don't know if you guys know who Glenn Rogers is. Not sure if you guys are familiar with Glenn Rogers. He was considered the Casanova killer. Okay. Glenn Rogers. So again, here is not Sebastian. Caleb Harris. The reward is $50,000. Is being offered for information that leads to the safe return of Caleb Harris, 21 years old, Corpus Christi, Texas A&M student. That's who that is. Oh, I wanted to use my coffee thing from Harmony. There we go. I like that too. I like that. And then in the corner, she has to make me happy, make me coffee, bring me coffee, be coffee. Speaking of coffee, if you want to support the channel, click on buy me a coffee. Buy me a coffee. I want a membership from a channel that I'm not even subscribed to. Norm, have I ever watched them? Huh? Really? Okay. Oh, before I said so, yesterday I need to go watch because I saw Cooch was doing the Met Gala. Guys, I'm so serious. I had sent all of these pictures to my email, and I was going to do the Met Gala because some of these dresses, it was Garden of Time, a Time of the Garden. I forgot the theme for this year. Some of these outfits were gorgeous, and then some of them, they were just like, one guy was dressed like Willy Wonka. Anyway, but I was gonna do that, and I saw Cooch. I was like, I got to go back and catch it because I actually went to sleep. I went to sleep yesterday around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning because I'm working on numbers for the auditors all week, and my head was pounding. That's Harmony. Harmony is the graphic artist. Okay. Okay. That's Harmony. Now, when I put, so when I do a thumbnail, if I really take the time and go in and do it, yes, I'm a graphic artist. Now, my son is really a graphic artist. So I did, when I was in Virginia Beach, I actually worked at a firm where I did all the typesetting, with the fonts and everything for different pamphlets, for anything that was ordered. So all of these fonts, there are fonts out there that we don't even know about that's used. So I used to do all the typesetting and matching up fonts and everything else. Oh, some of those look like trash bags. What are we talking about? Nani, what are we talking about? What look like trash bags? Chris made a death threat to Seth on that. Yes, I heard that. And to that private detective as well. Some of those look, yes, they did. Some of the clothes. Yes, they did. The Met Gala. Yeah. There was one. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me pull it. I'm going to show y'all what I mean. Hold on. Because I sent it to my email. And hold on. Met Gala. It was the summer. Hold on. Met Gala. Hold on a second. Let me just type gala. I have so many names. Okay, Met Gala red carpet. Okay, there it is. So this one outfit. Now the woman that was dressed like the sands of time, it was just gorgeous. Okay, it was gorgeous. This one, hold on, let me show you my screen. Hold on. Met Gala. So I was going to discuss it because some of these outfits had me rolling. This one, so the theme this year was, what was it? It was the Garden of Time. I was right. The Garden of Time. That was the theme. Okay. I don't know what that was, but okay, we're going to let that go. This one, yeah, I was okay. This one, he looked like a pimp. He looked like a pimp. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. And I'm trying to, like Sherlock Holmes, way back when what they had. Okay. He looked like a pimp. This I thought was gorgeous. Rebecca Ferguson's dress was gorgeous. That was okay. But this one, the Sands of Time. This was gorgeous. And what got me was she needed help to get up the steps. So you had guys picking her up so she didn't walk up the steps. This was absolutely adorable. This was an hourglass. This was gorgeous. There was another outfit. No, 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 no. This one was gorgeous. This one was built like it looked like a wood corset. That was gorgeous. This one was gorgeous. It was built like glass. Okay. It was made to look like glass. That was gorgeous. This is the one right here. I'm like, what the fuck are we looking at? Yeah, Zendaya won. This outfit right here. What the fuck? What the fuck? Was he supposed? What is this? I don't know if he was burnt halfway in hell. This was the Garden of Time. What is that outfit? What is the outfit? Don't know. This one was nice. I like that one. But anyway, those she reminded me of Angela Jolie's movie. What's her name? I think it's Maleficent or something like that. This is what that dress reminded me of. That's what that reminded me of. Nicole Kidman's dress was a redone, but I used to like Nicole Kidman. I don't know why I don't like her now. This shit, she had a mosquito net on, which was gorgeous. Okay. This was gorgeous too. Janelle Monáe. That was gorgeous. But anyway, Zendaya. I didn't get that dress. I didn't get it, but okay. So those are the ones that I had wanted to discuss. And I was like, okay, that hourglass one was just completely gorgeous. Good morning, Scotland. Good morning, Claudia. So you said Zendaya won. Not the hourglass, not the dress that looked like it was made out of glass. That was Lil Nas. Thank you, Jenny. Oh my God, that was Lil Nas. The only thing I know about Lil Nas is him riding the horse and whatever else. I don't really pay attention to Lil Nas. Not at all. You like the butterfly dress. Yeah, I got to go watch Cooch's live because I need to see. And I remember I looked, it said live in, I think it was 17 minutes or something like that. I laid down and I was gone. Good morning, Pam LaBar. Good morning. So I wanted to talk about Glenn Rogers, okay? The Casanova Killer is what he was called. Now, I don't know if you guys saw the it was kind of like a documentary on ID Discovery. It was called My Brother, the Serial Killer. It was Glenn Rogers' brother, Clay Rogers, and his sister. Okay. Now, Glenn Rogers met Nicole Brown Simpson, Faye Resnick. What's her name? Kris Kardashian. He knew those people. He ran in that circle. He was alleged to be Nicole Brown Simpson's handyman, who she just happened to be sleeping with. And Faye Resnick is the one that introduced Glenn Rogers to Nicole Brown Simpson. They used to party together, party, sniff, sniff. They partied together. Okay. So when the sister, now, not only that, he also met O.J. Simpson before. Now, when this trial was going on, Clay Rogers and his sister made the statement that their brother confessed to Kay and Nicole. But when he first talked about him, he said, they've got a lot of money and I'm going to take them for everything. Now, he met Nicole in 1994. He was living in Southern California when he met Nicole. Nicole was, and Ron was Cade in 1994. Did anybody know that Glenn Rogers met Nicole Brown Simpson? Has anybody ever heard Glenn Rogers' name mentioned throughout this whole case? Did anybody know that? So he was a serial killer. So I'm going to play a little bit of this docuseries, which it's called Serial Killer Documentary. And he was called the Casanova Killer. So we're going to play a little bit of it. And then I want you guys to go watch it. I want you guys to go look for yourselves. But Glenn Rogers, and it was in this, it was another like movie thing where Glenn Rogers was in bed with Nicole. He started acting weird and crazy. He had gone downstairs to get something to drink. And he started going off. Nicole got on the phone, called Faye Resnick, ran out the house. Faye Resnick, Nicole, and her kids were out shopping. Glenn Rogers was following them. After she got rid of him, he kept calling her. She said that she no longer wanted to see him. She just needed some time to herself, and she was going through a lot of stuff. So we're going to talk about, let me get Glenn Rogers up here for you. Let me get him up here. I dropped the link in the chat for this. This is Glenn Rogers. That is Glenn Rogers right there. Good. Oh, I said hi, Pam. Scotland. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. This is Glenn Rogers. Guys, if you like the channel, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button, please. All right. So this is Glenn Rogers. I started it here because the other stuff. So let's just listen to what they have to say.
Anxious to raise money for his bail. He was going to steal what he could from Peters and sell it. That had been in October.
Hold on, let's go back.
She too changed her mind. Killer. And as a matter of fact,
I've just started from the beginning. Here we
Nicole Brown Simpson, former wife of former football celebrity O.J. Simpson, was stabbed to death by an assailant on the front walk of her luxury condo. The killer also slaughtered Ronald Goldman, 25, who had brought Nicole the eyeglasses that her mother had left behind at the restaurant where he waited tables. Detectives reportedly concerned about Simpson.
Now, when I listened to Sloan Bella, y'all know I like Sloan now. When I listened to Sloan Bella's read, it was stated that Ron Goldman was lured there. And yes, he had slept with Nicole a few times, but it was nothing serious, nothing at all serious. So they feel that Ron was lured there because Nicole used to have Ron driving O.J. Simpson's cars and riding all through Brentwood, knowing O.J. would see him. So she was taunting too, okay? So she was taunting. She, as her sister says, that she was not a little flower. She taunted, she gave just as good as she got sometimes. So there we go.
In safety, went to his estate and noticed a bloodstain on the door of his white Ford Bronco and on the driveway. But Simpson proved to be out of town in Chicago. When he returned to Los Angeles to answer questions, investigators saw a cut on the finger of his left hand, and they learned he'd still been in town at the time of the assault.
So he had a cut on his left hand. If you guys would have saw the autopsy photos of Nicole Brown Simpson, she was damn near it was hanging on by just, she was damn near beheaded. You're doing all that stabbing, all that cutting, and you're going to get one cut on your finger. No, I think he was there. I've never said I didn't think he was there. I think he knew exactly what happened. I really do. Really think he knew what happened.
He told several conflicting stories, raising their suspicions. Several droplets of blood at the scene failed to show a match with the victim's blood types. Simpson's blood was drawn for comparison, and it showed strong similarities with those unknown droplets.
Similarity.
In addition, they were located near footprints made by a rare and expensive type of shoes that O.J. owned and that proved to be his size. There were other items of evidence against him as well, not the least of which was his suicide drive down the highway.
Oh, that shit was
complete with
funny. I'm sorry. That shit was funny. When they said it was a chase, good morning, peace and struggle. When they said it was a chase on the 5, was the 5? Yeah, or the 5. When they said it was a chase, and I'm like, a chase? And I'm telling you, I've always kept a little battery operated TV in my office, always has. But I don't have one now because I have my laptop and I can see shit. Before, you couldn't do all of that. So I turned it on and I'm watching this chase and I'm seeing people along the highway. Go OJ free. I was like, what the? This is not a chase. This man had an escort to his home. I'm gonna kill myself. I want to tell my mama I love her. I was like, wait the fucking minute. I'm sorry. I laughed so hard at this shit. I'm like, it's not a chase. That's an escort. You had an escort. They followed you and then let you go home, take a shower, and put clothes on so you can go to jail. Get out of here with that shit.
In thousands of dollars. Circumstances and some of the best possible evidence were against him. Nevertheless, the defense team managed to refocus the jury's attention on corruption in the Los Angeles Police Department, rampant racism from the lead detective, and the possibility that evidence had been planted to frame Simpson. His experts also showed that the crime lab had mishandled evidence, placing everything into doubt. The jury briefly deliberated and then acquitted Simpson. He vowed to search for Nicole's killer, and as a matter of fact, another possible suspect.
Lynn, do you want to come up and share your insights on that? Oh my God. Yes, please hit the thumbs up. Lynn, if you want to come up and share your insight, please do, because I was sending Johnny Cochran all kind of messages.
Did emerge not long afterward. He was angry, brutal, and quite vicious in the random murders he committed, and he always targeted beautiful women. He started in California, at least from what was known at the time. O.J. Simpson's trial was still in process when Glenn Rogers became a murder suspect in a different incident not far away. The primary sources for this story are 2 books, Clifford Leindecker's Smooth Operator, and a book told to Joyce Spitzer by Rogers' brother, Claude Rogers Jr., The Cross-Country Killer. In addition, several major newspapers carried it.
They call him Clay.
Often, the details conflict, but what follows is the essence of Rogers' activities. In September 1995, Rogers lived near McRed's Cocktail Lounge in Van Nuys, California, and he liked to stop in for drinks. Leindecker says he was generous with money and quite charming with women, especially women with red hair or reddish tones in their hair. A theme repeated by newspapers and authors seeking to make a connection between Rogers' victims and his red-headed mother. Rogers himself was blonde and wore his hair quite long and shaggy. He was well-built, handsome, and had sparkling blue eyes.
His eyes are gorgeous.
He was said to have such a smooth personality that he could talk most people into doing anything for him. He didn't hesitate to approach women to whom he was attracted, and he often pestered McRed's female bartender, Rain Keener, to go out with him. She repeatedly declined, which annoyed him. Still, he persisted. One day, Sandra Gallagher, a 33-year-old mother of 3, according to the Associated Press, came into the bar. She had won $1,250 in a lottery game, so she was out to celebrate. As she went onto the dance floor, Rogers watched her. It was his habit to study women to see if they'd yield to his will. Any sign of self-confidence turned him off, no matter how pretty. Their postures, their clothing, their hairstyles. He read them all before he made his approach. That evening, Rogers had been looking for attention as usual right back to his place that day. Leyendecker writes that she initially agreed to it, but then had a bad feeling, so she changed her mind. That made Rogers mad, and he allegedly told her, "I always get what I want." She would tell this story many times to the press in the days that followed. Rogers then made overtures to Gallagher, who initially declined to give him a ride, but she too changed her mind. Apparently, she was feeling charitable that day, thanks to her recent good luck. She left the bar with Rogers, assuring Keener that she felt safe because she knew him, probably believing that his association with the bar made him safe. Why would a man whom everyone saw with her try to harm her?
Because he's
The next
crazy.
morning, Gallagher's badly charred body was found in her incinerated truck, although it took 4 more days to positively identify her, and the autopsy showed that she had non-consensual sex and was strangled. But Rogers, once a regular at the bar, was nowhere to be found.
He disappeared. Now, he killed her in 95. 95. He met Nicole, Faye Resnick, and Kris Kardashian in 94. They partied together. Party, you know, that kind of partying. And he was sleeping with Nicole.
He'd also left his digs, where police found a woman's earring that had belonged to the victim. Sometime later, someone later reported that an acquaintance of his said that Rogers had referred to this murder as the 8th time. But Rogers had boarded a bus or purchased a truck, and he was gone. The police had a difficult time tracking him, which proved unfortunate for at least 3 more women.
Now, I'm stopping it again. They caught him on the highway. That was a high-speed chase, but this was way down the line.
But another murder had also drawn police attention to Rogers, and this victim was a man. Before Rogers went to California, he lived in the town of Hamilton, Ohio. He worked odd jobs, barely making a living, but his mother would not let him live with her. A 71-year-old electrician and veteran, Mark Peters, offered to take Glenn in and help him get on his feet. He'd ask him to do some light errands in exchange for room and board. Peters had a loving family in the area, so when he turned up missing late in October, his daughter Joan reported it to the police. She said that Peters had had a collection of coins, some antiques, and several guns, all of which were missing.
Pawned it.
The police searched extensively but found no trace of the missing man. Glenn Rogers was gone as well, as was Peters' car, and the police asked Glenn's brother, Clay, recently returned from prison, what he might know. Clay apparently told the police that Glenn had been anxious to raise money for his bail. He was going to steal what he could from Peters and sell it. That had been in October. A little while later, Glenn had reported to Clay that Peters was dead and that it had been accidental. He'd also gone up to the family cabin in Beattyville, Kentucky, so it was possible the police would find something there. Officials in Kentucky searched the cabin, and on January 10, 1994, found a skeleton bound to a chair beneath a pile of furniture. Due to the state of the remains, officials were unable to ascertain the cause of death. However, it looked like anything but an accident. They started the process of establishing the identity, and only after 2 months of painstaking effort by technicians and anthropologists were they able to say that the remains were those of Mark Peters. Before that occurred, Glenn had been arrested in California and charged with assaulting a female, and the ID he showed the police was that of James Peters, Mark's son. It was an early case of identity theft, wherein Rogers had used...
Now, he is a good-looking man. I'm going to give him that. He's a good-looking... Look at his beard. Good-looking. But he's a monster. And he was dubbed the Casanova Killer for a reason. Look at him.
The Social Security card to get a California driver's license and had run up considerable bills that were sent to Mark Peters. So much for repaying an old man's kindness. His family was left bereft. While the police tried to find him, he proved elusive, giving him time to kill again and then flee to another state.
Yep.
Apparently, Rogers went straight to Jackson, Mississippi from California.
Yep. Yep.
and settled among the residents there. He had no idea that a federal warrant had been issued for his arrest. He was wanted by the FBI. He contacted a friend for money, but stayed away from places where he was known. In Jackson, he moved from one cheap motel to another. Going to a state fair early that October, he met Linda Price, 34, another redhead and a mother of 2. Leyendecker describes her as having an irresistible zest for life. At 5 feet 4 inches and 110 pounds, she was slim and attractive. They met in a tent sponsored by the local newspaper. Rogers's good looks and smooth tongue must have won her over because he moved in with her for several weeks and they became drinking buddies. Her brother warned her that Rogers was no good, but she ignored him. Having been through a rough time with men, she liked the way he was treating her. Besides, she was lonely and it was nice to have some company. She stayed in touch with her mother, assuring her that she was happy. On November 3rd, after her family became concerned that they'd not heard from her, they sent the police to check her apartment. Officers discovered Linda sprawled naked in the bathtub, stabbed to death. She was lying face down, and there were 4 vicious stab wounds to her back and chest. In addition, her throat had been slashed.
We hear that. Her throat had been slashed. Her throat had been slashed. The Casanova killer. Now, she had 2 kids. Again, these women are bringing these men home when they have kids in the house.
The pathologist estimated that Linda had been dead for 2 to 4 days, although it was difficult from the state of her remains to pin down an exact time. Her red Datsun pickup was missing, as was her purse and some jewelry. So was her new boyfriend. In fact, he'd been pretty thorough about erasing his presence. He'd showered the body to wash away the blood and perhaps any trace evidence that could connect him, and had cleaned the apartment of his fingerprints. Oddly, a message written in lipstick on the mirror seemed to throw the blame on someone else. "Glenn, we found you," it said, as if someone had been looking for him and he'd hightailed it out of there before they'd arrived, so they'd killed Linda instead.
That's rule.
It was a fairly transparent ploy, and no one believed that anyone but Glenn Rogers had killed her.
Yep.
When the police put his name into the computer for the FBI's National Crime Database, they turned up the arrest warrant from Van Ness. Now they knew they had a killer, and perhaps even a serial killer. Again, Rogers boarded a bus and went to Louisiana, where he met Andy Jules, or Lou Sutton, 37, in a bar in the Shreveport suburb, Bossier City. He met
Bossier,
and managed to persuade
her. You know what? It's Bossier, not Bossier. Bossier City, Bossier, Bossier City, Louisiana. Sorry, guys, Bossier.
Let him stay with her. But before he did, on an inexplicable side trip, he took a bus to Tampa, Florida. He'd be back, driving a car that he hadn't had before, but Andy would never know from whom he had stolen it. Having worked on the carnival circuit as a way to cross the country, Rogers certainly knew about Gibsonton, Florida,
Aaron.
or Gibtown as the residents called it. He probably figured it would be easy to pick a woman up there, although she might be a little unusual. Gibsonton is a unique town south of Tampa, the residence of numerous carnies, such as the Bearded Lady, Rubberface, the Human Blockhead, Midgets, and Giants. Most of the buildings are one-story, run-down concrete eyesores, but it's interesting to enter a grocery store and see the mixed clientele. Some residents kept elephants in their yards. They lived in this place because they were different and had a shared history of being outcasts and exhibits in traveling carnivals. There was even a sensational murder in Gibtown.
Yep, we remember him, right? The lobster man with the lobster kids. He was Cade. He was an abusive little asshole. And the wife just couldn't take it anymore. He had left her, got a girlfriend, then went back to her. And, yep, he was taken care of.
Once, of a bully known as Lobster Boy.
Oh, okay.
Grady Franklin Stiles Jr. was born with a deformity that made his hands look like lobster claws.
Boy.
He was 6th in a line of men in his family with such a deformity, and 2 of his 4 children had it as well.
Same thing.
He also could not walk due to legs that had developed imperfectly. He was known to be mean, even abusive. and he actually shot a young man who became interested in his
And his
daughter.
daughter. Yep.
However, because no prison could deal with his deformity, he escaped serving time.
Yep.
His second wife apparently decided that she'd been abused long enough and mentioned to a relative that something had to be done about him. On November 29, 1992, only 3 years earlier, a neighbor hired by Grady's son-in-law shot and killed him as he watched television.
Yep.
The crime drew media attention to the town of Carnival Freaks. Whether or not Rogers knew about it, he certainly knew what the town would be like. He signed into the Tampa 8 Inn for 3 nights and found a bar nearby called Showtown USA, where he ordered a drink and looked around. It was the afternoon of November 5th.
Now, ladies, if you saw him in the bar, would you be attracted to him? Good morning, Patricia. He's a good-looking man. He is a very good-looking man. I like this. I like the beard. I like this. The eyes, the nose. He's a nice-looking man. He's just a fucking monster.
Rogers spotted 4 women out together, and one of them drew his attention. The one with a touch of red in her hair and a hint of insecurity. At 34, Tina Marie Cribbs, a mother of 2, was carving out a meager living as a maid at the Ramada Inn at Apollo Beach.
His eyes
she was at the bar with 3 other maids, just trying to enjoy herself after work. According to witnesses, Rogers began to flirt with the women, giving out 2 different names, neither of which was Glenn. And because he was handsome and in good physical shape, they enjoyed his attention.
Yep.
He danced with them, and they were happy to have him buy them drinks. He talked about his life as a carny, hawking food and tearing down rides. Then he said he needed a ride back to where he was staying for the winter. His familiarity with their area put the women at ease. He wasn't.
Hi, Maddie. How are you? I thought you were going live a few weeks ago, Maddie. It's nice to see you.
A stranger at all. He was one of them. Cindy Torgerson would later say, he was picking us out, like oranges. He persuaded Cribbs to give him a ride and apparently talked her into coming into his motel with him. Or forced her. In fact, before she left, she'd ordered a drink, expecting to return within 5 or 10 minutes. But she never showed up. Her worried mother, set to meet her at the bar, paged her, then filed a missing persons report. People saw them together, so Rogers was an obvious suspect when her body was found 2 days later. She lay face down in a blood-splashed bathtub in room 119 at the Tampa 8 Inn, stabbed and slashed in numerous places, front and back. Her body appeared to have been washed clean of blood. Her purse, a gold watch, and a diamond ring were missing. Witnesses said they had seen Rogers leave the hotel in a car that was identified as Tina's. He left a do not disturb sign on the door and had requested that no one.
You know what? He does look creepy, but I guess if you see him for the first time, unless you're sitting there talking to him, and because some guys you just get a bad feeling from. But a picture, okay, he's a nice looking guy. But I guess if you met him in person, and his eyes right there are bugging me, but I need a face on look again. But they're bugging me, but some guys just give off creepy ass feelings. When we were in Vegas that time, this guy was, and I told him he just started being a bugaboo. And then he wouldn't just leave me alone. He was just always calling up to the room, knocking on the door. And I remember my sister opened the door one night and I was laying in the bed because I was taking a nap before I went back down. And she says, my sister's already told you she don't want to be bothered. So I was like, don't open the door to any goddamn body because you don't know what they have. She goes, I would have effed him up. But I'm laying down under covers. It would have taken me a while to get out the bed and jump up. But you get some guys that are just bugaboos and they're really weird.
One clean his room, giving himself some time to escape. Oddly enough, he had signed his own name on the hotel register. Apparently, Rogers then called a relative in Ohio and said he'd killed someone. He also said there would be more. By then, he was back in Louisiana. Police in the various jurisdictions quickly swapped information, and the search for Rogers intensified. America's Most Wanted, a popular Fox television show dedicated to finding fugitives from the law, agreed to air a broadcast about the case to ask citizens for help. Rogers' picture was printed in several newspapers and on televised news reports. Police went into the traveling carnivals that came out of the Tampa area to ask if anyone had seen him, because he was known to find his way to different places to pick up work. Reported sightings failed to materialize into a significant lead. By this time, Rogers was back with red-headed Andy
I'm looking
Sutton.
at his eyes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What is wrong with her makeup? I'm sorry, she's deceased, but damn.
Dancing and drinking in a bar. She had missed him and was glad to have him back. Everyone was impressed with how nice Rogers appeared to be, and he certainly treated Andy well. They went from one bar to another, where Andy was known, before ending up back at her apartment above a Mormon church. Andy had a roommate, but she was out. Even when she did come in late that night, she didn't disturb them. If she had, she might have found Andy's body much earlier. The following day, November 9th, the roommate found Annie stabbed to death on the punctured waterbed. The weapon had been large, leaving jagged wounds on her chest and a lot of blood soaked into the blanket and sheets. Water from the bed had leaked all over the floor. When the body was transported for autopsy, 6 more stab wounds were found in her back. Rogers had apparently been angry. He'd also been quiet because he'd managed to accomplish the killing, as well as some petty theft, while the roommate was sleeping on the couch. She knew that he had been there because her purse was missing. Rogers was seen that morning placing items in a white Ford Fiesta outside Sutton's home. The car belonged to Tina Marie Cribbs. He left behind the red Datsun pickup that he'd stolen in Mississippi. Rogers was immediately named as a suspect, wanted in connection with this murder, and Louisiana joined California, Ohio, Florida, and Mississippi in an urgent search. Where he was heading at that moment was anyone's guess. But he was clearly dangerous.
He was dangerous.
The FBI added Rogers to their 10 most wanted list. They circulated his description to over 42,000 law enforcement agencies across the nation. He did not, as they anticipated, return to his hometown of Hamilton, Ohio,
Nope.
although he would later claim that he had indeed gone there for a few days. As they pieced together Rogers' activities over the past month and a half, law enforcement determined that he'd gone from California to Florida, killing at least 4 women along the way. The description of Rogers placed in newspapers
now his eyes right there
penchant
are
for women
spooky
with
as
red
shit.
hair
Okay.
who
This picture right here makes him look spooky as hell and dangerous. There is no life in his eyes at all right there. No life in his eyes. I understand what type of pit, but there is just nothing there. Nothing is there. So yeah, he's a creep.
whom he met in country music bars. He was considered a smooth talker who lied easily and could persuade women to do whatever he wanted. And he wasn't being particularly secretive. He'd signed his own name at one hotel
See,
and had
Lynn?
told a bar-hopping acquaintance that he'd committed murder.
See, Lynn, this is what I'm saying. So, this is what I'm saying. He actually stalked Nicole after she told him, "Good morning, Jane Creek." After she told him, after she fled her home, he stalked them. He followed her. Same types of wounds. Always stabbing, always stabbing.
Murder. In fact, while he was on the run, he'd gone into several bars, showing his face as if he hadn't a care in the world, even drawing attention to himself by flashing money and buying everyone drinks.
Psychopath.
He seemed to know his days were numbered, and until he was caught, he was just doing whatever he wanted. Or else he had no awareness of the visibility of the trail he'd left behind.
He didn't care.
Agents knew that.
Now, you need to watch My Brother, the Serial Killer. His brother is on there, Clay, and I forgot his sister's name. He confessed to his brother that he killed Nicole. They contacted the prosecutor. You know, Marsha Clark and the other one, I forgot the black dude's name. They contacted them. Oh my God, his name was just in my head and it was gone again. They contacted them to tell them this guy had confessed to killing Nicole. He damn sure
Rogers
did.
had 2 teenage sons living in Houston, Texas, and although the court order had barred him from seeing them, They thought he might be headed there. He also might head to Canada, where his grandmother lived. America's Most Wanted rushed its program to the screen. Flashing photographs and providing all known information to that point, the host, John Walsh, asked anyone who may have seen this dangerous fugitive to call the hotline. More than 400 people called, but no one provided a viable lead.
Right
Rogers'
there, his eyes
relatives,
are
alert to the
very
situation,
Now,
went
that was
onto
a
news
police
shows to
case,
urge him to
and
turn
I'm
himself
gonna
in.
find it.
As quoted in the Austin American
Hold
Statesman,
on.
his
Police
mother,
chase
Edna
Glenn
Rogers,
Rogers.
went on a Cincinnati-based television program and said, "Glenn, babe, if you hear this, please give up. Please, I love you." She admitted to the police that he had phoned her to tell her he was wanted and had assured her that he'd done nothing wrong. She believed him, but she did not want him to be shot while on the run, so she had sent out the appeal. Even as interest surrounded Rogers, a debate emerged as to whether he would be considered a serial killer or spree murderer in the event he was convicted of all the crimes with which he'd been charged. But murderers generally don't think about such categories when they act. They just act, so it's not always easy to pigeonhole them. According to the FBI's Crime Classification Manual, which many law enforcement agencies acknowledge, there are 3 basic categories of multiple murder: mass, spree, and serial. The first involves a single extreme event,
Oh my
and the other
God.
2, multiple incidents, but with different manifestations.
Yep.
In strict terms, mass murder is the killing of a number of people at one time and in one place,
Yep. He was a
usually
serial
4
killer.
or more, such as James Huberty's 1984 fatal shooting of 21 people at a McDonald's restaurant in San Ysidro, California.
I remember that.
However, mass murder also included cases where the killings were a few hours apart or at closely related locales. If a single precipitating incident is linked to all the murders, but they're days or even weeks apart, the offender is considered a spree killer. Serial killers, too, may commit multiple murders across several weeks, but what
I'm
distinguishes
going to
them
do John
is a
Wayne
hiatus,
Gacy.
or a psychological cooling-off
Son of
period
Sam.
between murders.
Jeffrey.
No one really knows just how
Hillside.
long that might be. The distinction between a long
I know
spree and a
him.
series of murders attributed to a
He was
serial
married
killer
to the woman,
seems to
and
rest
then she
heavily
found
on
out he was a
method and
killer.
motive.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
Serial killing is most
Know
often
him.
either a profitable crime,
Know him.
a
Oh, we're
crime
going
for
to cover
thrill
all of
and
these.
self-gratification, or a lust-driven crime where the killer may operate compulsively within an erotic ritual. Occasionally, it's about revenge. Spree killing, on the other hand,
Look at
appears to
this
be
maniac.
motivated by continuing and
Ted
identifiable
Bundy.
stress, taking place in several locales and across a relatively short period. If we examine Rogers' crimes and motives, it seems that he killed both for financial gain and his own satisfaction or relief,
Yep.
assuming his murders were triggered by anger. That he was sloppy
Yeah,
in
the
allowing
BT.
people to see him with all of
No,
his
not the
victims
BT.
may have truncated
The
his
other
killing
guy.
spree,
The one on the
speeding
end.
it
I
up
know
with
who
the
the
stress
BT
factor of realizing that he would
killer is.
probably be
I
caught
can't
or
remember the other
killed.
guy's name.
Thus, he could be classified as either a serial.
He had married this woman. They had got a house together. He didn't work at the post office. I forgot what job he had. And then he would always, he was a truck driver. He would always leave and come back and bring her all kinds of stuff. And then when it came to the house and she found out, that's the case I'm gonna cover next. She found out that the man she had married, that been with and treated her so well, had murdered people in the home that she was living in. Good morning, Kelly. He had killed people in the home that he moved her into. They were finding all kinds of shit in that house.
Or spree killer. Neither category is incorrect. In fact, he might be similar to the Beltway snipers, John Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo, who started out with sporadic kills and then went on a spree for 3 weeks in October 2002.
DC.
In the end, it doesn't matter, because Rogers' identity was known from the first murder.
Yep.
Rogers hid out where he could, using James Peters as an alias and stealing a license plate in Tennessee to put on the stolen car. But he was moving inevitably towards home, where he felt safe, despite part of him knowing the police would be looking for him there. They dubbed him the cross-country killer. On November 13, 1995, Rogers visited 2 elderly cousins in Waco, Kentucky, not far from Beattyville, to ask for money. He was driving the white Ford Fiesta. They urged him to turn himself in, but he wept and said he was confused. He may have told his siblings at this time that he had committed murder. In any event, after he asked them to pray for him and drove away, an anonymous call was placed to the police to alert them of his recent whereabouts. Later, it turned out that Edith Smallwood, his cousin, had turned him in. I love Glenn, and it hurt, she told the Lexington Herald-Ledger. But he had to be stopped. One detective, Robert Stevens, who had a photo of the 33-year-old suspect.
Okay, I'm going to stop that one right there, and I'm going to show you this. Let me stop sharing the screen, and I'm going to show you this when they caught him. Hold on. I just pulled it. Police chase. Glenn Rogers. Hold on. This is, let's do it. Big screen. Here we go.
Nationwide manhunt started closing in on Glenn Rogers here in Waco, Kentucky, about 3 o'clock today. At this point, Rogers is only minutes away on Kentucky 52, being chased downhill at high speed by Kentucky state troopers.
I remember this.
They raced to set up this roadblock. But the roadblock doesn't stop Glenn Rogers. 2 minutes later, though, other troopers do by ramming his car, forcing him off the road, dragging him out moments later at gunpoint.
Look how crazy he looks when they get him out the car. Watch when they stand him up.
Channel 9 videographer Chick Poppy asking him the question on everyone's mind tonight.
Look at him. He's got a little pee-pee too. Look at him. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, Johnny Cochran? Oh. He was friends with my cousin.
Moments later, as he was transferred to another trooper's car, I asked an angry Glenn Rogers the same question again.
Did you do this? One-on-one, talk to me in person alone. Did you do this, Glenn? Did you kill those women, Glenn? Glenn, did you kill those women?
Look at him.
One-on-one alone. At the jail, you interview me. Did you kill the women? You hear me? Did you kill these women, Glenn? No.
Look at him.
We'll do the interview in jail. I'd love to talk to you in jail. I'd love to talk to you in jail. Let's talk to the gentleman here when TV leaves.
Okay, we have that. So now let me go back to the other one. Glenn was crazy. Again, he admitted to his brother
suspect in his possession
that he
knew what kind of car to look for. When he spotted a white Ford parked in a specific spot, he pulled up beside it. The driver was drinking a beer.
What is wrong with you?
The trooper took a good look at the long-haired man and knew he had found the notorious fugitive. Rogers stared back at him for a long moment and then threw his beer can at the trooper's car. He screeched out of there, taking off before the cop could get out and make an arrest. But Stevens was hard on Rogers' heels, calling for backup even as he accelerated. Soon, half a dozen police cars had joined the chase. Rogers led them for 15 miles, according to the Patriot-Ledger, going through 2 towns and even busting through a roadblock. He sometimes reached speeds of over 100 miles per hour.
In that little car,
a trooper shot at his tires once to try to slow him down, but only when he finally spun out did Rogers bring his car to a stop. The police cruisers quickly surrounded him. They shoved him face down on the ground, arrested him, and took him to the state police station in Richmond, Kentucky for questioning. The media frenzy was on.
All of this. I'm sorry.
Rogers' sister, Sue, agreed to be interviewed for a popular television tabloid show, A Current Affair, saying that Rogers had admitted to having killed 55 people. He frightened her. Although Rogers claimed he had killed no one, He was about to change his story. Once caught, Rogers began to confess. One officer told reporters he was talking his head off, and he apparently went on for 4 hours. His interrogators, Stevens and Detective Floyd McIntosh, found him personable and smooth, and they could see how he used his silver tongue to lure women to trust him. When they told him they were interested in him for 5 murders, he laughed and told them it was more like 70. This statement made its way to the press, and soon Rogers was being touted as the country's most prolific serial killer. Police departments with unsolved murders and more
he looks almost humanized. Seriously. Even the eyes right there. They're like, okay, what am I doing here? Why am I here? That's what he's looking like. I didn't do anything.
200 jurisdictions where he was thought to have traveled or resided started to look at their cases more closely. Given his time with carnivals, he could easily have killed in many places and then quietly left town.
Yes, he was dead.
Several investigations were reopened, especially in those states where he had allegedly killed. From tips, police did a few excavations in search of more bodies. Even male victims were considered, given the Mark Peters murder. It looked as if Rogers killed as much for gain as for some type of sexual or emotional release.
Yep.
Clay Rogers added to the search, according to Leindecker, when he said to a television interviewer that there was a hidden cemetery full of victims on the family farm. It had been used for at least a quarter of a century, but nothing came of that tip either. Rogers clearly loved the attention, although he eventually asked for an attorney and stopped talking. Apparently, he didn't care for the pressure to provide details about the victims the police actually knew about. In these particular cases, he did not offer a confession.
He does look good in orange.
Rogers was taken to the Madison County Detention Center in Richmond and placed in a special cell where he would be repeatedly checked to prevent a suicide attempt. In the meantime, the court appointed Erwin Lewis as Rogers' attorney, and he informed the media that Rogers would be talking to no one. Rogers was being held on minor charges, including first-degree wanton endangerment, but this time he was not going to be cut loose.
Nope.
In prison, he began selling locks of his blonde hair and beard to the eager buyers that always emerge in such cases, as well as autographed index cards. These
now he doesn't look
$30
good at
a
all.
piece.
That right here, he looks disgusting. He's lost weight. He's losing his muscle tone. He doesn't look, and he was selling his hair. Now that shit I did not know.
He became a favorite of adoring young girls who would flock to his hearings and trials. A website devoted to serial killers kept a daily log. This was before blogs existed. It wasn't long, however, before Rogers recanted his confession and claimed that he hadn't killed anyone. He was entirely innocent. He said he'd just been joking about the 70 bodies.
No, he wasn't.
Regarding the alleged crimes,
maybe the
he said he just happened to have been with the wrong women at the wrong time. It was all an unfortunate coincidence, and that
he was with the wrong women at the wrong time. That always seems to wind up dead, but he then disappears. Got it. Okay, we understand that. Glenn, you are totally innocent.
Made him a victim as well. This theme would play out for the years that his case stretched out. And once his brother described his background in a book, the source of Rogers' violence, as well as for his eventual attempts to frame others for his crimes, was clarified. As is often the case with such men, people were curious as to how Rogers could have become a multiple murderer. We'll start from the beginning. Rogers was born and raised in Hamilton, Ohio, a southwestern town near the Erie Canal.
Ohio, guys, Ohio.
Leindecker provides details about his early family life, as does Spicer, in her As Told To account from Claude Jr., 13 years his senior. Claude does a decent job, if sometimes too pat, of describing incidents that, collectively, may well have influenced Rogers to become the explosive type of killer he was. Born to parents well past the time they had raised his 6 brothers and sisters, Glenn had a difficult birth and suffered from sleep disorders, ADHD, and repeated headbanging. He was impulsive and seemed always to be in motion. But more importantly, he had a difficult time digesting stress, and he reacted in anger to the constant abuse, neglect, and deprivation that his family suffered, mostly at the hands of his parents. He indulged in substances.
Now look at this woman. That's the sister. Doesn't she remind you of Nicole Brown Simpson? He had a hatred for his mom, though. He really had a hatred for his mom.
Abuse at a young age with both alcohol and drugs. His mother, in particular, was said to be mean. On one occasion, Claude says, she dunked Glenn's head underwater for fooling around with his brother in the bathtub, and he nearly drowned. Claude also points out that it's not coincidental that 2 victims were stabbed to death in bathtubs. Another time, Edna nearly smothered him, and once, she stressed out while in the car with the kids and decided that they should all just die. She sped towards the edge of a cliff, but didn't complete the action. She apparently thought her bullying was the way to control her children's behavior, and while the others did not end up becoming serial killers, Glenn, with his impulsive, reactive nature, apparently twisted his anger into a solid knot. In later life, women with reddish hair would trigger it, and they suffered for what he probably had wanted to do to his mother when he was a boy. Perhaps just as important was the day Glenn got into trouble in school, and Edna came in to find out who had victimized him. Blaming others was an attitude she modeled, which Rogers picked up on and carried into all of his crimes. He was not responsible.
Nope.
Someone else was. Nevertheless, by age 11, he was in reform school. Rogers dropped out of high school and married a woman named Debbie, with whom he had 2 sons, and he tattooed Debbie's name on the top of his right hand. At the time, Rogers worked as a cab driver for Ohio Taxi. In Hamilton, he built up quite a police record, from assault to driving infractions to forgery and arson.
Hit the like button,
He
guys.
even once threatened the police with a blowtorch,
Please.
which got him 3 months in jail. He had a short temper and beat up his wife on several occasions. That marriage ended. Debbie got a court order barring him from her and the boys.
Look at his eyes here. Look. They're just dead. There's nothing there. They're dead. They are dead. Yes, don't drink the water in Ohio or Florida.
And eventually, she moved to Texas. Rogers married again to a woman named Paula, but she was a brunette, not a redhead. He drove cabs and apparently took Ritalin, a stimulant. Later in life, he worked his way across the country in traveling carnivals, primarily the Faro Amusement and Charles companies. In general, he set up and broke down rides, or hawked food, living hand to mouth. He was a drifter, but also had reason to leave a number of places. Spicer says, the police recorded a total of 52 arrests, traffic stops, and citations against Glenn Rogers between April 10, 1990 and October 12, 1993. During one of his jail stints in the 1980s, Rogers was diagnosed with porphyria, an enzyme deficiency that causes a defect in the bone marrow that inhibits
He
the
didn't have no
oxygen-carrying
underwear
blood
on in
cells.
that.
Sufferers experience extreme sensitivity to light. Leyendecker says that perhaps that's why darkened bar rooms appealed to him. It should be noted that there's an odd tension in the book by Rogers and Spicer. Claude seems to want to find excuses for his brother and even to exonerate him from the murders. But at the same time, one gets the impression that the more murders that can be attributed to Glenn Rogers, the better, which is possibly
That's
Spicer's
not right.
influence.
You need to make sure.
Certainly, one of them hint that he may have committed some of the murders attributed to the Green River Killer, and also makes a strong case that he murdered Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. However, some of the facts of these cases are stated in error. Rogers seemed always to have trouble with women, brutalizing any with whom he got involved. He was now going to pay the price for believing he could freely take out his rage on innocent victims, living or dead. The states where he killed were seeking to bring him to trial, but he was also eyed in another murder. In fact, a double homicide. Because O.J. Simpson, acquitted in a criminal trial for the murder of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman, was heading to the civil courtroom, sued by the victims' families for wrongful death. Spicer takes great pains in The Cross-Country Killer to support the notion that Rogers knew Nicole and possibly killed her.
He wasn't wearing
Leyendecker
underwear.
mentions the connection as well, but shows why it's a
He was
rather
moving
unlikely
too
possibility.
much.
Rogers had left Ohio for California in 1993 and was in the Los Angeles area in 1994. He allegedly bragged to a drinking companion that he had killed at least 8 times, so the 5 to which he had been definitively linked may not be his only victims, although some murders in which he was suspected proved to be solved in other ways.
Yep.
According to Leyendecker, the private detective for Simpson, William Pavlich supposedly said that he had spoken with an acquaintance of Rogers who claimed that Rogers had actually admitted that he was
His
responsible
brother.
for the double homicide and had framed OJ for them. OJ's attorney was looking for any other viable suspect. The New York Post ran a story quoting Rogers' associate to the effect that Rogers was actually in the bushes outside Nicole's Brentwood condo, stalking her after she'd broken up with him when Goldman arrived.
Told you he was stalking her. She ran out of her house that night when he flipped out, called Faye Resnick. Faye Resnick, I got to find that interview. She introduced Nicole to him. Faye met him. They were partying together. Kris Jenner, not Kardashian, Kris Jenner knew him. And they would party together.
Rogers killed both and then admitted his deed to the story's source. The man was even allowed to touch the knife that Rogers had used. The Post included Pavlich's claim that he had found evidence linking Rogers to the Simpson-Goldman murders. This included the fact that Rogers, working as a house painter, had been on a job in the area 3 months before the incident, not far from the condo. He said that the defense team would base their defense for Simpson on the possible association. Rogers liked to slash and stab his victims, and the victims had been slashed and stabbed. However, Rogers also liked to take credit for murders he did not commit.
Yes, he does.
Leyendecker indicates that there.
But how many murderers do you know are always slashing and stabbing and almost decapitated his other victim in 95, like he did Nicole? Well, I'm not saying he did, but alleged. But that it was too much of a coincidence. And for his brother to get on national TV and said that he confessed. And we know he had been stalking her because Faye Resnick had already said it. And she ran out of her own house because that man scared her that bad when he flipped out.
There are more reasons to disregard Rogers as a suspect than to accept him. Among them is the fact that the killer was probably stalking Nicole, and Rogers did not tend to be a stalker. Nicole had no red tint in her hair. OJ's blood and DNA linked him to the crime scene.
They didn't link him. They said that there were that they had similarities. Didn't say linked. I would love to see if they test that blood now with as much advances as we've had in forensics. I would love for them to test that blood evidence now to see. So we'll know right away. They need to retest that. I would love for them to retest that blood.
Evidence links Rogers to the crimes.
Oh, yeah.
Rogers' MO was to leave the area after killing, but he didn't leave LA until 1995.
When he killed
and Rogers never used gloves. The LA police found the suggestion that Rogers was the killer to be without substance, and Pavlich backpedaled by saying that he had checked out the tip about Rogers, but had never said that the defense team would use it. In fact, he claimed that he'd never even told them about it, although they certainly knew about it from some source. In addition, if there had been any good reason to believe that Rogers was a viable suspect, OJ's attorney in the civil suit would have raised it. However, he made no mention of Rogers as a suspect.
He did not.
In a later interview, Simpson himself dismissed the possibility. Then it was learned that the source of the story about Rogers' confession failed a polygraph, and that revelation appeared to diminish confidence in the entire scheme. The New York Daily News indicated that Simpson's attorneys had never intended to use the information about Rogers, viewing it as ludicrous. However, Spicer, with Claude Rogers Jr., had kept the story alive with counterarguments in her 2001 book. Let's look at their side of the story. Spicer indicates that Rogers met the former Mrs. Simpson when he was painting her house, and she invited him inside.
That's not how he met her. Spicer, I don't know where you got that from. Faye had already did an interview stating how they met. They met in a damn bar.
Wanted him as a new toy because she was the original party girl. That story alone undermines the credibility of the rest, given how easily she could attract wealthy, accomplished men. Rogers apparently said he did not know who O.J. Simpson was. They went to clubs together not long before she died, and there were photos taken of the two of them together the night before, not supplied in the book. Rogers' brother Clay claimed he received a phone call in which Rogers claimed to be with Nicole at that very moment.
Yep.
He supposedly said, "This lady is loaded and I'm going to take her down." He later claimed that they'd been dating, but that she dropped him to go back to OJ. Another unlikely story.
I don't think she dropped him to go back to OJ at all. He freaked out in her home, and she ran from her own home. Point blank, period.
OJ came over that night and hugged her. Then Rogers committed the double murder and let OJ be arrested. Spicer
Now-
says a blonde strand of hair was found beneath Nicole's body that was not hers, and that some DNA found at the scene did not match OJ or the victims. Although the defense team for OJ's civil trial did contact Rogers, they apparently never thought to see if the unidentified DNA matched. Spicer and
That-
Claude Jr. suggest that Rogers was with OJ that night, helping him, although how he came to be a murderous companion of OJ's is never
That's
explained.
not true.
To bolster the argument, they indicate that a psychic told the police that a blonde-haired serial killer was Nicole's murderer, but Rogers was not a serial killer until more than a year later, not to mention how unreliable psychic impressions are.
That's not
The
true
arguments
now.
they offer about
Psychics are
timeframes
good.
work no better in this book than they worked for the defense team and criminalist Henry Lee's supposed identity.
Okay. Sloan Bella channeled Nicole, and Ron came through. Nicole, now, I know a lot of people don't believe in psychics. She said that OJ was there. He did not do it, but he was there. He knows who did it. And she also said that Ron was lured to Nicole's place. Now, whether or not we believe that or not, that's what her channeling Nicole said.
Identification of a second shoe print turned out to be a misidentification. In the end, while the Spicer Rogers book adds a lot to our knowledge about Glenn Rogers, it does not close the case on the Simpson Goldman murders.
Nope, it doesn't.
But other cases were about to be closed. Over the defense attorney's protest, Kentucky officials agreed to extradite Rogers to Florida to stand trial for first-degree murder because they thought Florida had the best evidentiary case.
Well, he got the death
Horstman
penalty.
wrote about
He's
it for the
still alive.
Cincinnati Post. Kentucky made a deal that, if acquitted in Florida or convicted but not given the death penalty, Rogers would be sent back to trial for the 1993 murder of Mark Peters. Rogers immediately protested his representation by the public defender's office, claiming they did not believe he was innocent and they were secretly conspiring to send him to the electric chair. He wanted to represent himself. They in turn claimed he was undermining their efforts by talking with the media. The judge granted Rogers a private attorney, Nick Sinardi. He soon suggested that Cribbs may have been killed by another man, someone she was seen with after Rogers was with her.
Really?
In fact, the attempt to throw the blame on another man became something of a circus in itself. A few weeks before the trial began in April 1997, Assistant DA Karen Cox from the Hillsborough State Attorney's Office ordered that Rogers' cell at the Morgan Street Jail be thoroughly searched, along with the cells of 3 other inmates. Cox had no warrant, but nevertheless seized 3 boxes full of photographs and papers, as reported in the Tampa Tribune. The materials removed from the cell were related to the Cribbs case, but officials from the DA's office declined to specify what they were. They stated that to search a jail cell, no warrant was necessary. Rogers called Sandra London, a groupie who had befriended notorious serial killer Daniel Rolling,
Yep.
the Gainesville Ripper. She not only helped him to publish a book, but was also briefly engaged to him. She was reportedly writing a book about Rogers. She told the press that the DA had declined to give Rogers an inventory of what they'd taken, but he was certain that some of it were confidential
Exactly,
letters
yes,
between
ma'am.
himself and his attorney, protected material. These letters contained Nick Sinardi's specific defense strategy. Sinardi challenged the search, demanding the return of all items taken. Less than a week later, the papers were returned on the judge's order, but no explanation was forthcoming to reporters as to why they had been seized at all. There were hints that the action was part of a criminal investigation unrelated to the pending trial. Strangely, one of the prosecutors admitted to taking some of the items home for the purpose of keeping them secure, but claimed not to have read the documents.
Bull.
Sonardi requested that none of the material in the documents be used against his client in court. Reporters speculated that because the cell of another suspected killer, Jonathan London, had been searched, and he had killed a Gibsonton woman in 1996, Sonardi was going to finger this person for Cribbs's murder. Then one of the 3 other inmates reported that Rogers had attempted to get London to agree to take the fall.
Y'all better read up.
London
on
was
Glenn
named
Rogers.
as a defense
There's
witness,
a lot out there
but he
about
said he would
the
plead the
fact
fifth and say nothing at all. He claimed he was not known in town at the time of the Cribbs murder, and his employer gave him an alibi. In fact, he'd known Cribbs and her mother and wanted to kill Rogers for what he'd done. Back to square one. During the trial, Rogers' attorneys attempted to portray him as psychotic due to early alcoholism, repeated headbanging incidents as a child, and a history of truancy and problems in school. While they did indicate that Cribbs had been seen with another man, they were unable to explain why he was driving Ms. Cribbs' car when he was finally caught. He said she had let him borrow it. Also, his fingerprints were lifted from her missing wallet, found discarded in an interstate rest area, and spots of her blood were found on shorts he had in his possession. The jury listened to the evidence, along with the witness reports, and convicted Rogers of murder. They then sentenced him to death. Rogers repeatedly said he was not concerned. He believed he would one day be exonerated. In July 1997, the state of California indicted Rogers on counts of first-degree murder and arson. The governors of California and Florida reached an agreement that would extradite Rogers to California to stand trial. Afterward, he'd be transported to Florida to serve his sentence. In October, he found himself once again in Los Angeles to stand trial for strangling Sandra Gallagher and leaving her body in her burning automobile. The judge allowed evidence from the murders in other states because they showed his pattern. On June 16, 1999, Rogers took the stand in his trial to insist on his innocence in the Gallagher murder. He said that a business associate, Istvan Steve Keeley, was the real killer. He proposed that the last time he had seen Gallagher, she was alive and with Keeley, who was on parole for shooting a maintenance man in 1972. He went back to prison for violating parole, but at the time of the murder, he was free. Rogers further stated that after leaving the apartment with Gallagher, Keeley then called Rogers to report that he had killed Gallagher.
Really?
However, at this point, Rogers was prohibited from saying anything more about that conversation.
Look at him.
He did indicate that he did not believe what Keeley had said, although he admitted that he kind of felt that she was dead and was upset about it. In closing arguments, prosecutor Pat Dixon referred to his performance on the stand as false, syrupy, sweet, sick. She claimed that the murder was premeditated, not an act of passion as the defense attorney suggested, and therefore should be punished as aggravated murder. After 4 days of deliberation, on June 22, 1999, the jury convicted Rogers of the murder and a few weeks later sentenced him to die. That August, he was transported back to the control of Florida's Department of Corrections. He still had to face charges in the murder in Jackson, Mississippi, and while he was a suspect in a murder in Bossier City, Louisiana, charges were not filed. As long as he faced 2 death sentences, enough seemed enough. While Rogers clearly had problems, both genetically and environmentally growing up, this would not cause someone to commit murder, especially not repeatedly. He did know what he was doing and that it was wrong, so he was perfectly aware that he was causing harm to others, and yet he continued to do it. Then he attempted to frame others for it. There is little about his behavior that supports a diagnosis of psychosis. Rogers' behavior is certainly in line with the kind of parenting he received and his apparent inability to deal with frustration, fear, and anger. He was clearly conflicted due to a love-hate relationship with his mother. Yet even that does not necessarily produce a killer or even a criminal offender. Rogers demonstrated a mind that could compartmentalize and shift to whatever might work in his best interests, no matter how lacking in truth and no matter who might get hurt. He was apparently doing what comes naturally, going along the path of least resistance. In A Mind of Its Own, Australian psychologist Cordelia Fine relies on brain research.
I've heard about this book, but I never ever looked into it. This man is a psychopath, point blank, period. He is a psychopath. Now, my thing is that you had his brother some of his family members, they all knew who he was, what he was doing. And I'm just skipping ahead a little bit. So, okay, here we go.
February 14th, 1999. But he appealed right away to the Florida Supreme Court, raising conviction and execution is hardly likely to be thus motivated. In fact, he may well have convinced himself that he really was innocent. Rogers had been scheduled to die in Florida on February 14th, 1999, but he appealed right away to the Florida Supreme Court, raising several issues. He claimed that the state had not presented sufficient evidence to support the charges and that the trial court had erred in the handling of mitigating circumstances. Rogers also argued that the trial court should have granted the defense's motions for a mistrial because a witness was allowed to testify about a misdemeanor for which Rogers was convicted in California. In addition, the prosecution was allowed to present an improper argument during closing arguments, and one that had gotten another conviction overturned in a different trial. Rogers also contended that there was newly discovered evidence. His appeal was delayed until March 2001 and then denied. In 2002, reporters Stephen Combs and John Eckberg co-published Road Dog, emphasizing how law enforcement had allowed Rogers to slip away from the murder he'd committed in Kentucky in 1993. They contend that Rogers was a good suspect in the murder of Mark Peters, but a series of mistakes allowed him to get away. Before the other murders had occurred, California police had arrested him and contacted Ohio law enforcement. Detectives from Hamilton intended to fly to California to question Rogers about Mark Peters, but their chief believed it would be a waste of time and money. He canceled their trip. Combs and Eckberg, both of whom had covered the case from different angles, wanted the public and police to realize that economic considerations of this nature where a killer is concerned can, and did, cost lives.
So they canceled the trip because they said it was a waste of time and money. So you let a killer go free to kill other people because you figured it was a waste of time. So let's see. You knew he killed Mark Peterson. Okay, so then you let him go. He killed Sandra Gallagher. Then he killed Linda Price. Now, Sandra was in California. Mark was in Hamilton, Ohio. Linda was in Jackson, Mississippi. Tina Marie Cribbs was in Tampa, Florida. And Andy Giles, Bossier City, Louisiana. Those are just the ones he went to trial for. So with that one murder that started with Mark, you had, what, 4 other people? 4 other people that you can actually put him there died because you didn't go get this man. And he's at Union Correctional Institution. You didn't go get him. So you had 4 other deaths on your hand. Couldn't even get it out. I was so damn mad.
In April 2005, Rogers filed another appeal. It was denied in 2011.
After we finish
it
this,
was
I
his
need
last appeal. He's now almost 60 years old and will likely die in prison from natural causes, like most of the serial killers on death row
He got the
do.
death penalty, but he's still alive. So that's it for that. He got the death penalty, and he's still alive. I wasn't planning on playing all of that too, but it was good. Debbie, I need you to come up, Debbie. Hold on a second. Let me get this. I wasn't planning on playing all of that, but that was good. That was good. So this is Glenn Rogers. Now, whether or not we want to believe that he played some kind of role in Nicole Brown Simpson, and I need to find that Faye Resnick interview. I need to find that because when they were doing Nicole Brown Simpson, that story they did on her, that's when we're going to talk about the Dirty Bird real quick. Got to talk about the Dirty Bird, Debbie, how she's stalking Michael. So anyway, when they knew this man was responsible for Mark Peterson's death, they found his skeletal remains in the cabin. You damn near cut off Gallagher's head, stabbed her in the bathtub. Then you stabbed another woman. He's known for stabbing. So he's called the cross-country killer, the Casanova killer, and all this other BS. But you let this man go. They released him because you didn't go get him. When you knew he killed a 71-year-old man who was doing nothing but being nice to him and trying to help him out. That's it. That's it. He's got the death penalty and he's still breathing. I wish, you know what? I shouldn't say this, but I wish he would have committed a crime in Texas. Florida, I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised that Florida let him live. Florida let him live. Lynn, thank you so much. Thank you, Lynn. Florida let him live. Whew. Hey, Debbie.
Hi.
I called you yesterday for just that reason. Did you see Moving Mad's thing on Angela?
I saw a bit of it, but I don't think I watched the whole video. Wait, so she's stalking poor little Michael now?
Stalking Michael. And before I even saw Moving Mads, I typed in the comments. I said, who's stalking who?
Oh no.
And then she's telling these women, as long as I'm with him, you can look. Meaning she's not giving this man a divorce, and she's making fun of him.
But
MILF Manor. Oh yes, Debbie, can you talk about MILF Manor, please? I
Oh
still didn't finish watching it.
let me
Look,
tell
I
you,
still didn't finish watching it.
I got up early this morning only for disappointment. For some reason, YouTube is flagging our MILF Manor reviews, and
Why?
they are not monetizing it, and that means that it's not even going through the algorithm. It's so sad. Something in it, and we made an effort yesterday to be so politically correct, but there's nothing going on in the show. But for some reason, we're getting flagged every time.
Debbie, do you know on Adults Adopting Adults? I looked at my stuff. The highest view we've had on that one is 7,000. And we did that 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Look.
And they monetized that. And I was saying all kinds of shit.
Last season on MILF Manor, they did a demonstration with fruits and vegetables of human genitalia and how to demonstrate how to orally gratify a partner.
Uh-huh.
And we did that, and we were not as careful in our description as I was just now. No problem. I even put up pictures. My thumbnail was of that scene. But Ryan Rounds, she mentioned, she's like, could it be the word MILF? So
it could be the word. I think I'm serious, because when I did a thumbnail one time, I put something in it, and before I even started it, it was yellow. Once I changed the title, it went green.
Well, I'm going to go back and I'm going to rename it That Show That YouTube Don't Like.
Debbie, it's the okay. Let me ask you. Last year, when you covered MILF, did they do the same thing?
No, none of those shows went up for review. None.
Did you put it in for? Did you request a review on it?
Yes, and it came back after manual review. We're not going to monetize this.
Get the hell out of here.
I think the most we've made is 6 cents. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, um,
Debbie, do
like,
you know all the shit that we say on Thursdays and the shit that we say
I
when you come up on Saturday
know.
morning,
I
they all
know.
get monetized?
I know. Everything else gets monetized except this show. So I think maybe it's the name. I went
I
through
think it's the
to
title.
to see if like I had that particular word as like one of those no words that you have
Uh-huh.
like in your settings. It's not there. We only have 4 words. It's not there. You can say
I would
basically
try
anything.
changing the title.
Yeah.
On one that you haven't sent in for review, change the title on it and see if it goes green.
I already sent the one today for review.
Oh, damn.
I already know that that's going to happen. So next week, I'll just change the name to that show that YouTube doesn't like, but you want us to review.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because Debbie, I'm serious. Hold on. I'm going to get adults. Hold on. I'm going to show you my adults adopting adults. I'm going to show you the highest. Hold on a second. Let me get adults adopting adults. Hold on. Let me go.
The 3 episodes that we did of that show, with Jamal, they went through. They got very good ratings. I mean, views and no review from YouTube, none at all. And that those shows really frightened me. Really frightened me, especially the guy who brought the gal from overseas who was pregnant, and the
Yep.
wife, um uh, and that remote like farm ranch place that he lived on, and put the pregnant girl in the trailer. It was just very, I don't know, that didn't rub me the right way at all.
Okay. Hold on. This is adults adopting adults. And hold on. I need to go show you the views. Hold on a second. Because when I was looking the other day, I was like, oh my goodness. And I did not know the views that this thing had received. The highest reviews, one was 76 something, and then hold on. I'm gonna say a lifetime. Oh, I want a lifetime. That's what I want. A lifetime. Lifetime. That's how I found it. Okay, so here it is. Adults adopting adults. Hold on. Let me show you. Let me show you. Channel analytics. You see this? Adults adopting adults. 7,604 views.
No, I don't doubt you at all.
But all the stuff that we said on this.
Yeah.
I think the highest, and then for Enough is Enough, it was 9,627 views. But look at the views, and I did not get it was green.
Yeah. But
yeah, they bought the camper for her.
Jamal says that they changed the
the TOS has changed. Yeah, the guidelines has changed.
But again, the show that we're doing before that, the Love in Paradise, we're talking about threesomes. We're talking about transgender. We're talking about just as inflammatory topics, more so than being an MILF.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, of course, the only thing that's different this year is that we have zaddies on the show. That's the only difference.
YouTube just don't like that show.
I guess so, but they need to watch it because it's funny. It's actually much better this year than last year because it was very cringy with the mothers dating their sons.
Yeah, I didn't like that shit at all. But Debbie, so you weren't here earlier. I found out that my son is a Swiftie and he's in Paris to go to the Taylor Swift concert tonight. And I asked him what hotel he was in, right? And he says, no, I'm in a penthouse Airbnb. It's a 2-story. I said, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, nice. That's even better than the
Yep.
George song.
So you know me.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, where are the kids? He goes, I
Mhm.
pulled them out of school for a couple of days. I said, okay. He said, and I said, how is Justin enjoying Paris? He goes, you know, it's a shock for him. Kayla's been there a couple of times, but Justin is just taking it all in. And he says he's just like, wow. I said, yeah.
Listen,
He's not used to traveling, but Justin is. He said he's adjusting really well.
the first time you go to Paris, it's always amazing. It's
Yes,
always amazing. Like you could look at dog shit on the sidewalk
it'll be
and you would
amazing.
go, "Oh my God, it's French dog shit." It's
Yep.
so amazing.
Nate had me laughing. He said, because he said the whole time they've been there, they're sightseeing for Justin and stuff. He said, Kayla's in her phone. She said, she ain't paying attention to shit. They got on the
Aw.
gondola. He said, she ain't paying attention to shit. I said, she's been there before a couple of times. He was like, yep.
Yeah, but each time you go, you see something different,
Yes, that's the one,
something new,
Marcia.
and then the people that you're with. So I think that she should put down her phone and see Paris through her brother's eyes, and I think she would enjoy it, even if she's just teasing him, you know.
Yep.
And I would always be on the lookout for shopping. Mm.
Oh, he said they did that yesterday.
Mm.
He said
I
Kayla had to go to
love.
that store. He said he couldn't remember the store that he took her to, right? And
Mhm.
that's the store where the lady was saying that Kayla would be a great model. He said,
Mhm.
"Why tell me that she remembers this store?" I said, "I don't know."
Aw.
But yeah, so they did some shopping yesterday.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
and if you're in France, always go to the pharmacies because between South Korean beauty products and French beauty products, they're amazing. They are
Oh,
amazing, and you have to pay so much more, especially for the French beauty products, like facial creams and serums,
yes.
on Amazon as opposed to when you're there and you can buy them from the pharmacy yourself.
Yep. And my title, Debbie, I'm still going by what you said. My title actually said adults adopting adults.
Right, but I don't think any of those words isolated alone is an issue. Adult and adopting. Those aren't like trigger words. But I think I'm gonna go with Ryan Rounds. It must be the M word. That's the problem for YouTube. And I don't know why, because there ain't nothing wrong with an M. Um because there's plenty of zaddies that go after little young tenderonis, but all of a sudden it's a problem if an older woman is looking at um one of the boys.
Oh my God. So Yasmina says because it's sexual. That could
It's
be it,
sexual,
Debbie.
but the
MILF.
thing is they haven't even done anything yet. They
No, but the
haven't.
title, MILF. Okay. So hold on a second.
Maybe I get what you're saying. Okay, well,
Yes.
again, so I will change that next week to that show that YouTube doesn't like. And I'll take out
Oh,
all the
the F stands
hashtags.
for yes. Okay, Debbie. So let me pull this. I want us to look at Moving Mad, which I love to look at him.
Thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. I appreciate it because, I'm a bad
Yep.
YouTuber
So
and
what you
don't
do is you
care.
put MIL and an asterisk or something. You
They're
know what
even
I mean?
clamping down on that, though. They're even clamping down on that because I was reading the guidelines. And even if you put in a different character, they still know what it is.
Well, I did one that says POS and I never got flagged for it. So maybe I need to go back and start looking at my titles for some, but I don't do weird titles. I mean, I might go, oh my God, or POS. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change that. All right. I want us to look at this. Look at his face, people. Look at his face. Look at his face.
Why? It's morning.
Because Debbie, I want you to hear this.
Okay,
I
ma'am.
need you to
I'm ready.
hear this.
I'm ready.
And okay, are you ready?
I've got my coffee.
Okay, let's do this.
Mhm.
Ew. So many comments. If you want us to leave the show, then vanish. If you vanish,
then we're not relevant because you're gonna have I got too many queens actually, so only got like 30% haters, which y'all don't hate me.
Wait a minute, she got 30% haters. Hello, Angela, 30%. Let's go with 87%.
But Heidi, how is it that the only thing I understood in that little snippet was I have 30% haters?
Because her teeth. Okay, let's go back.
I'm so sorry.
Let's go back and listen. Okay, because her teeth. Look, her teeth. Hold on. Let's listen.
But wait a minute. Whenever she talks, I really
put the
feel
closed
like
caption
I
on to
have.
see. Look, I'm gonna put the closed caption on to see if that works. Okay.
But listen, when she talks, I really feel like I have a learning disability. I gotta strain to comprehend what this woman is saying. Oh,
but the whole thing is, she is unhinged now because Michael has all these people in his chat and all these women. I told you, when she sees that video with him with the rose in his teeth and all these women sending roses, she's going to flip the fuck out. And that's what she did. She is exactly what everybody says. She is sick. She very insecure. Okay, let's
so many comments. If you want us to leave the show, then vanish. If you vanish, then we're not relevant because you're gonna have I got too many queens actually, so only got like 30% haters, which y'all don't hate me. What you do is you just got to have someone to talk about, and I'll be that person.
She'll be that person.
All right, boom. So basically, Angela's saying that she's not the problem with the show. We're the problem with the show because we are watching the show and choosing to watch the show and choosing to dislike her. And she believes that there's only a small portion, a small percentage of people that watch the show and dislike her. Because in her reality, well, her being on the show, behaving the way she does is acceptable. Because she believes that she has more people that like her and less people that dislike her, therefore all the people that are therefore all the people that don't like her are so small that we are all pretty much irrelevant. Right, okay. Okay.
That's what she said.
Okay. Right. All right.
Talk about it to me. Listen, they let them hate. You know what? Let them hate. Because you know what I found out in my life experience? Queens, that it doesn't matter.
She's in a hotel because her room don't look like that.
Certain people the truth, the facts, they're still going to plot evil. So let them. I can't change people. And when you bring facts to the table and people still don't, acknowledge it, what can you do?
Okay. I mean, I agree with that statement, but somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't facts...
Is that a meth mark?
I don't know what that is.
Brown spots.
But there was a lump on her chin during the first one where she was telling people to vanish.
Oh my God.
I would love for her to go to the doctor. I really would. I would love for her to go to the doctor and get a checkup. Just like a little evaluation, because she has to be having some sort of depression.
Of course depression. I think she's gone past depression. I think that she's unhinged now. I'm using the word unhinged in my opinion because Michael escaped. He ran away. Michael looks happy and relaxed. Did you see him on TikTok?
Well,
I can't stand that music he was playing, but okay. He looks happy and relaxed.
Right.
And he has no worries.
Okay, so of course Michael is going to be in a better headspace because he's out from under all of that pressure.
Deborah. There is no obsession. Oh, well, yes, with Moving Mad. Oh my God, yes. I can freeze this and just look at him. And then when he keeps stroking his beard, he knows we're watching him. Okay? He keeps stroking his beard. Like, don't you want to touch it? Don't you want to feel it? That's what he's doing. And it's all moisturized. And, that's what he's doing. Them pretty white teeth. He makes me sick. Let me stop. Okay, let's go.
Evidence. I mean, listen, even opinions also do come with evidence, right? So here's the thing: if you're somebody who's giving people facts and you're not bringing the evidence,
that's right.
Well, then your facts, really and truly, can just be seen as your say.
Yep.
If you bring an opinion, sometimes you also need to bring in evidence to back up your opinion.
Yeah, he needs to stand up.
Otherwise, in the same situation, it's just.
Hold on. I follow him on his other page on IG. I see him with no shirt on, with his little shorts on. Yes, so he don't need to stand up. He's good. He's good.
Does anyone know how tall he is?
He say,
Debbie, I don't care about how tall he is. Maybe
I do.
Maybe 6 feet.
You really think he's 6 feet?
5'8", 6 feet, somewhere around there. I don't know.
I feel like he's 5'7".
Okay, well, his pack, I mean, you know, everything looks good. It's all in proportion. So smash the like button, guys.
She say, whatever say, you know what I mean? So Angela can continue talking about how she is innocent or whatever that she's trying to tell us here. But unless you're showing us evidence of certain things, then what the hell are you telling us?
Nothing.
You're not telling us necessarily a fact, nor are you even telling us your opinion, which obviously you couldn't because obviously it's your life experience, right?
That's
so
right.
You're just telling us your side of the story that we are choosing to not believe because you are not giving us the evidence to believe your side of the story. You know what they say, right? There's 3 stories.
3 sides.
You have his story, her story, and the truth.
Thank
and really
you.
And truly, the truth is something that we have to witness ourselves to really know who is telling the truth. And usually speaking, we need someone that's there that obviously saw it, or we need evidence. In this situation, we need evidence.
And the evidence shows, Angela, that you're guilty.
I mean, no matter what kind of facts I bring to certain people's table.
You're not bringing any facts. You've called that man the N-word. I'm not N-word. I never heard her say the N-word. Someone says she said that. I never heard that. You've called him the R-word. You said that he was gay. You said you've tried everything you could to muddle his name to make yourself look better. Debbie, what you have to say?
I don't. Deborah, leave me alone. I feel like he's 5'7".
I'm thinking more like 6 when I saw him walking. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. I'll go back and look.
I don't know. Like Angela, not that I'm a fan of Angela, right? But I really wonder where her family and her friends are. Because
what friends?
The ones that she ain't beat yet. But honestly, like, is there no one in her circle, her family, who can like get her to somebody she could talk to? Because how is this productive, her going on these rants all the time, whether she's drunk or sober? It's just very concerning to see. I know she's concerned that she's losing her paycheck. She's losing notoriety. But these are all things that
she's doing to stay relevant. That's what, yes, she was emasculating him. That's what she's doing to stay relevant. She's going after people to keep herself out there. Angela, you are not making yourself look better. I'm sorry, Debbie, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but the more that she does this, the more she's treading into territory of threatening people. It's just, not only is it not a good look for TLC, right? But TLC, in my opinion, has cut her loose. So now she's on her own. And she doesn't have TLC or Sharp Entertainment or Productions or whatever as her cover, promoting her foolishness anymore. So she's in a headspace now and has been for several years that her bad behavior is going to be rewarded. But now that she's been cut loose officially, her bad behavior can now be criminally charged. She's also delving deeper into, I'm going to say alcohol for now because I don't know anything else. But if this were my mom, how could I, in all good conscience, let her continue to spiral like this? For real?
Well, my parents would put me in a damn hospital somewhere.
He could stand on a stool. Oh my God.
Oh my God, Lynn. Okay, let's go. Oh,
People are still going to make it out to be not the facts, you know.
it's
So who
not the
cares?
facts.
Enjoy your life. Life's too short. So I'm going to enjoy mine from now on. I've been in 7 years of hell.
Wait a minute. She's been in 7 years of hell. Again, you had every opportunity to let it go, but you kept wanting those checks from TLC. You could have left him with all the cheating, as you said, all of the Yahoo boying he was doing to you. You chose to stay in that relationship because you were getting a check for being in that relationship. Debbie?
I agree. But that's why I'm concerned now, because the checks are cut off. There's no more income. Like this, the income inflow has been decreased, but you're making it worse. Michael's playing the game.
Michael is playing the game. Yep. He says, I want no negativity, all positivity, people, all positivity, no negativity. Every time he says that, I
not only that,
laughing.
He waited until he was told that you can go and get social media. You can go online, but only say this. Like, he's paying attention and he is listening to what they're telling him so that he can get the next show. While she is going out here, who's to say that she couldn't have gotten, if she had made a change, acknowledged all of her wrongdoings in this relationship?
But she's not wrong.
But who's to say that if she hadn't made that pivot, right?
Yeah.
That we would have wanted to see her on Single Life as well, so that both of them could go off and find something and be happy separately.
Again, in her mind, she hasn't done anything wrong.
In her mind. However, if she was thinking like Michael, I'm sure Michael doesn't think he was doing anything wrong when he was scamming white women on Facebook so that he could get a visa to come over here to the United States of America. I have not forgotten that Michael is a scammer.
He's a scammer. Thank you. Nobody's forgotten that. But you seem to think you're the one that's shocked. We're not shocked. None of us are shocked. He is. How are you shocked that this is what this man has done?
She is not shocked. She is shocked that she has gotten outsmarted.
That's what it is. He outsmarted her.
Remember, I said that the two of these had a mutually beneficial agreement.
Yep.
From the beginning. Angela's always wanted to be on TV, and she used this man to get on TV on this platform because nobody was letting her on the You the Baby Daddy shows anymore.
Yeah, because her daughters wasn't having any more, Skylar. Look, Skylar, she can't be sleeping with young men anymore. But anyway, I was mean. She couldn't break him down. You're right. And she was trying to break him down. Okay, so let's finish this and let's see what else she has to say.
7 years of hell. You know what's so interesting about that? Didn't you choose to be in 7 years of hell?
Thank you.
Because you just wanted to be famous?
Yep.
So the question is this fame that you've gained over the past 7 years, this hell you talk about, was it worth it? Or was it not worth it?
Was it worth it?
As far as I'm concerned, you cannot say it was hell because clearly you have benefited from this 7-year relationship in many ways that you wouldn't have beforehand. So I really do contest whether or not this was 7 years of hell or 7 years of exactly what Angela's always wanted, and that is being in the spotlight, and all, as well as also using the money to pretty much transform herself. Whether or not that transformation has worked is a different conversation.
It hasn't
really
worked.
And truly, I don't believe you when you say that it was 7 years of hell for yourself. It may have been 7 years of hell for Michael because, well, in those 7 years, immediately he wasn't getting a single penny because all the money was going to you and you was not sending it to him. Well, apart from the times when, of course, you told him not to work, so therefore you'd give him some money. But really and truly, the money that you had, you used it all on yourself. Yep. If anything, the person that definitely had 7 years of hell was the person that at this moment in time seemed to have not benefited in any kind of financial way whatsoever. So again, I do ask, 7 years of hell, but have you not benefited like financially by quite a lot, as well as also getting your dream of being famous?
Famous?
Right.
See,
I mean, if you're
I
gonna
like
tell us
you,
your
you
side of the story,
mad?
at least make it sound believable.
I mean,
because right now your
mad.
side of the story is
Damn.
lacking facts.
Yeah,
And
come on,
yeah,
Vanessa.
So much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless. God bless. Thank you so much.
She's teasing Michael right here. This is what he said on his live the other day when I was in there. She's teasing Michael. She is crude and vulgar.
Don't forget. Please go buy my.
She's also giving
so
herself
of course,
away
and you
that
took the
she's
time to
watching.
mock my.
I'm sorry, what she's doing, baby?
She's also giving herself away that she's watching.
She's watching. I told you when we were live. I said, wait till she sees that live and see these roses. She's gonna flip out. And that's exactly what she's doing. She's flipping out because Michael is getting attention and she can't regulate it. Okay.
Michael, which is obviously evidence and proof that she obviously does spend a lot of time watching any live stream that he does. So that means right now, whenever Michael goes live, whether it be TikTok or anywhere else, Angela's on it. She's got all of her notifications on. She's there to watch. She's there to observe.
She's under
there to see if she
name
can say anything to try and pick on him for.
on purpose.
Obviously, as of right now, she hasn't got anything against him in terms of what he said in the live stream because, well, he doesn't say anything, to be honest with you.
He doesn't.
I've got to say, his live streams are pretty much boring. Very repetitive. And I won't lie to you, what she did do there in terms of mocking him, the accuracy was freaking real. I can't even deny that, to be honest with you. But either way, though, it is proof that right now she's still pretty much online stalking him. Or should I say cyber stalking him? But that's just my opinion on the matter based on what she just did there.
She's stalking him.
Oh, look, I just made an opinion based on evidence presented for me. You see?
Thank you.
My opinion was based on what she said. Oh, look at that. You see? An opinion also needs to have some full evidence. Otherwise, it's just hearsay, she say, right?
Yep.
And Angela is always telling us facts without no evidence. So that's why it's always hearsay, she say, but whatever.
Someone said he's on IG and he was in Texas. I said, look, I don't care where he's at. I just like, I'm responsible for a person. I'm going to make sure I know where they're at. I'm not.
See, her excuse now for stalking him is because she's responsible for him. So she needs to know where he's at. Who believes that? Who believes that?
Oh, how does she know he's in Texas?
Because someone said on IG he was in Texas. He's not in Texas.
It'd be funny if he was in Atlanta.
Yep, he's in Atlanta. I think he's in Atlanta. When he took a picture in this mall, in this food court, girl, I was trying to figure out. I'm like, I've been in a lot of malls in Atlanta. And I said, I'm going to have to go take a look at some pictures. I was like, I was like, he's got to be in Atlanta or Louisiana. She ain't going down there. Okay, let's go.
I definitely wasn't seeing nobody. And this is the thing. You just said 2 nights ago you was in Nigeria. Can y'all catch that?
Michael is not, first of all, dumbass. Michael is not in Nigeria. If he went back to Nigeria, that means that but he already have that visa though. So he could go back and forth.
What visa?
I thought he got that automatic green card, not visa, green card.
He got an automatic green card?
I thought he did because he can't.
It ain't gonna go through that fast. It ain't gonna go through that fast. It's the U.S. government we talking about.
Okay, so I love that. I love that accent came out. That accent. Okay, he came over because they're married. What did he get automatically? Was it a visa?
She's still he has a spousal visa because they got married over there, right?
Okay, yes.
He still has to adjust the status when he get here so that he could get his green card.
And she hasn't adjusted his status yet.
I think that was an issue because TLC, in addition to threatening her, saying you need to hurry up and bring him over here, or we won't film you, just like how they had to threaten her to marry him over there. What their whole meltdown was, in addition to taking the phone, cutting him off from his family and stuff like that, and then whatever interactions they had, was her not adjusting the status, and you have a limited amount of time in which to adjust the
Hi,
status.
baby.
I feel she had no intentions of adjusting the status and forcing him to go back. That's what I feel, because she's never wanted to be with Michael. She's never wanted to be with him in person. I think she thought the better storyline was for them being apart. I don't even think she wants to be married to a black man.
Bambi, I did Glenn Rogers this morning, Bambi. Oh my God. Oh, you don't think so? Okay.
No, because look at who she was chasing after. The gentleman with the kidney issue or whatever, internal organ issue. I feel that once she got her glow up, I feel that that's what she was really looking for. The only reason why she went with Michael was to get on television.
I think so too, and we know that because she's a reality whore. In my opinion, look, in my opinion, that's what she is.
Michael ticks off all the boxes. He's black. He's from Africa. It's an interracial relationship. It's age differential relationship. You know, it's a lot of things to grab a lot of different demographics on television. So she was trying to get as many as possible. She had no intentions of ever living with this man in marriage in person. She wanted him to stay in Africa, but time after time, the production company kept forcing her hand, and this is the result. I mean, Debbie, what happened? You agree with Bam? Oh, thank you, Claudia. Alrighty, I don't mind being called Bambi. It's a cute name. It's still early. I'm only on my first mushroom coffee.
So Debbie,
yeah, yes.
When she was on Auntie and we talked about that. Do you believe she was surprised? As you said, hell to the no. Why is she trying to put that down our throat that she really loved this man when we know she did not?
No, she didn't. Again, mutually beneficial agreement between two scammers from the beginning. Where she falls to the wayside is that she did not compensate Michael properly, but she required a lot from him, not only just to get on the show, but she forced him to give up his job. She wouldn't let him, seek any sort of sexual
endorsements, sponsorships, nothing. She had
not
to
even
do it
that,
all.
but he couldn't have a life. He could not go out and get head. He could, for his birthday, all he wanted was a BJ, and she wouldn't let him get it.
Can you imagine her giving him a BJ with them teeth? I'm gonna stop. Let me stop.
Yeah, but no, back in the day when that happened, remember that was pre-surgery, so she was missing some teeth. So if she was gumming it, that is apparent from what some of my friends say. Gumming it is like real good.
Huh?
Cause you ain't got no teeth.
And you can't
along
scrape
the
it.
rim.
And you can't scrape.
Right.
Okay.
You just got it. So it's like you know those men that got the fetish with the baby goat?
Hi, Assassinino. So she was gumming it. So he enjoyed the gumming part because he didn't want the teeth scraping across his shaft.
Correct. And hitting the rim. The rim is the most sensitive part.
But
and
how big do you think his shaft is, though?
Look, here, African. All things are possible. But I'll give you the female equivalent. Girls, don't discount a partner that got a split between their teeth, because when they put your nipple between the split, it's on and popping.
Oh my God.
I bet y'all this morning was gonna get down to this, but here we go. The coffee's kicking in.
Oh, Debbie.
The mushrooms are kicking in.
Debbie.
And if you want to try mushroom coffee, go try Rise. They have the highest content of mushrooms in their coffee.
I don't do that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Debbie. Oh, I don't know if I need you on in the mornings no more because, girl. Okay. So the split between the teeth and the nipples are your thing.
It's good.
The shit that come out of your mouth. Okay. All right. So
and last tip of the day. Don't forget the third nipple. Don't forget the third female nipple. Try that split down there too. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Look. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's finish this out.
Well, there we go. We've definitely got the confirmation that, I guess we didn't need the confirmation, but we obviously know that Angela is still responsible for Michael, which is something that is probably burning deep in her.
It's burning
knowing
her
that she has to be responsible for this man for however long, whether it's 5 or 10 years. Ooh-wee. But to be honest with you, at the same time, though, would I want to come to America knowing that Angela Dean's going to be responsible for anything that I do?
No.
I mean, does it really affect Michael knowing that obviously Angela's responsible for him? I guess maybe not, but just knowing that you're attached to her for however many years. Yeah, I couldn't do that, to be honest with you. Could not do that. I don't know. I don't even know if I even respect it, to be honest with you. You know, that's just the grand scheme of things. But yeah, Angela is obviously still responsible for this man, and obviously that's something that's going to be burning her for a very long time. And to be honest with you, I've noticed that she's becoming very active on social media as of late. I wonder if she's trying to really bump up her numbers because she knows that she's on her way out of the show, and she needs the numbers to be quite high, so therefore she can continue profiting some way, somehow, once she's obviously off the show. That's, of course, if she's off the show, but whatever.
Whatever. We
They just said not even.
And when I say off the show, I don't mean necessarily this season. I mean after this season's finished.
Off.
Because she needs to schedule to be on this season. I believe in about 2 or 3 weeks' time.
Okay. Just saying. I'm sure you are, because you think you're going to be on a show, but that'll never happen again on my network.
That's the part. Her network. Her network. Her network. Where is Angela's name on the paperwork for TLC? Besides getting a paycheck. Her network. The same thing she did to Kim. She tried to intimidate Kim. She threatened her. Do you like your job on Pillow Talk?
But here's the thing, though. This is how stupid she is. You'll never get another job on my network. Here's the thing. Y'all don't work for TLC. Y'all work for Sharp.
Thank you.
Do she not know who her paychecks come from?
It's her network. She owns the bitch.
Last time I checked, Discovery owns TLC. But, that's just going into the weeds at this point.
Thank you, Bambi. They don't work for TLC.
Yeah.
Baby, if you want to come up, I'll drop the link for you if you want to come up. I didn't even know you watched this show. If you want to come up, Bambi, I'll drop the link. Oh my God.
Here's the thing. Moving Mad made a really good point that she's really upping her social media presence in the hopes of, I guess, parlaying this into a YouTube channel, hopefully to replace her lost income, right? But the thing is that this kind of diatribe gets very boring very fast. And you have to constantly find a new target. And it's a reason why I turned off a lot of YouTubers that I started watching during the panty, is that I got tired of this kind of foolishness. I saw part of this this live that this show that Moving Mad did. And
Mhm.
when I think I don't think I got this far in it, but I got tired of seeing her. I'm bored.
I'm bored of her too, but she keeps, you know what? And you're right, and he's right. She's trying to stay relevant, okay? I get it. But Angela, you're not doing yourself any favors, and I don't think she cares.
But is Gina still her manager?
Gina Rogers, Rodriguez, I think so.
Well, I see this woman going down the same path that what's her name?
Mama June?
Mama June did. That's what I see. This is just a waste of time.
It is. Bambi, what do you have to say about Angela?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm not terribly educated on it. Like I said, I troll Big Ed.
It's just a show. It's just a show. Just give me your opinion of it.
The clips I saw was, man, she's out of control.
Yes.
When I saw them in Africa and she's yelling when they go and take old boy's car, they like pull him over. And she's like, I'm an American. You can't. I'm just like, oh my God, you're in another country. She's out of control. And I'm actually surprised you left her.
So do you believe that she was, okay, let me just ask you. Do you believe that she was violent towards Michael?
Oh, dude, I totally believe it. I believe it. Like I don't know very much. I haven't watched very much of it, but judging what I saw of her in Africa, the way she was carrying on, I totally believe her putting her hands on him, getting mad, hitting him upside the head, calling him a whatever, abusive behavior. I can totally see it. Totally see it.
So what she's doing now, is I don't know if you saw her drunkenness when she was on TikTok, and it's made its way around. She's threatened Kimberly, who was with Usman, which Kimberly doesn't think she's threatened her, but everybody else sees she threatened you, Kimberly. Kimberly, she threatened you. And your position on TLC's Pillow Talk, Kimberly, which she doesn't have any pull, but she did threaten you. She's drunk all the time. And do you see all the marks and stuff in her face and that hole that was in her lip, which I don't see anymore? Do you think that she's on some serious, in your opinion, do you think she's doing other things besides drinking and smoking cigarettes?
She's got the old lady baggy smoky face, as I like to call it. There's some women that they smoke for a lot, like chain smokers. You'll see it with the wrinkles, skin coloration. And she also has, like, to me, displays signs of alcoholism, in my opinion. Like, I think, could she be using other substances? Possibly, but from the picture I'm looking at right now, she looks like a smoker and an alcoholic.
Bambi. Okay, let's.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the physical appearance. Look at the bags. Look at the cheek.
We look at that.
I mean, look at the facial. Look at her complexion. She's using a lens. I guarantee if you remove the lens, she's.
Oh my God, we have. Yeah, we have.
She probably has skin. Her skin's probably super white. She probably has a lot of darkness, I bet. Her cheeks are probably more sunken in. I guarantee you, she has the signs of like an alcoholic. And smoker.
Hi, Justin. Baby, Debbie, what do you have to say what Bambi just said?
Look, I've seen one of the unfiltered pictures, and I didn't realize it was her. I think it was the one with
it's her. Yes.
Right. I didn't realize that was her, because I think somebody had it in a thumbnail, and until they said it was her, and then I really looked at it, and I was just like, "Oh my God!" When someone has said, "Well, she got the weight loss surgery, so the skin sags, da 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 da." But we saw her right after she had the weight loss surgery, where she had the most, like, where she was at her skinniest, and her face didn't look like that.
Nope.
And yes, she's been a smoker for the majority of her life. I think she says she started when she was in her teens. She's almost 60 now. That is going to take a toll. She is I'm gonna say drinking, because she does seem drunk on a lot of these lives that she's doing.
Inebriated.
It will take a toll on her physical appearance.
Yeah.
But that's why I keep on asking, okay, we said she doesn't have any friends right now. Where's her family? How do you let your mom spiral like this?
She might have chased him away. She might have chased him away.
Lil OS. Whoever timed them out, that's fine. Hide them. Do not come over to my channel with any BS with Bambi. Whatever you need to say to Bambi, you go to Bambi's channel. I don't come in your channel. I don't go to anybody's channel doing that bullshit. So Bambi is on my channel as my guest. Don't bring that over here. Not at all. I don't do it, and you won't do it in here. Any bullshit like that comes in here, hide them. Don't block them. Don't time them out. Block them.
Grazie.
Period. Don't come in here with that.
Grazie. Okay. No,
go ahead.
She's probably that relative that, talks shitty to her kids. Probably, I hate to use the word abuse, but I hate you, put up with my bullshit. And they probably don't want to put up with the bullshit.
Right, but they still drop their kids there at her house for Mima to look after. You can't have it both ways.
Oh, do they? I didn't know that. Okay, so she does. So they do watch it.
The grandkids there.
Oh,
and if you don't care about your mom, then remove your children from in her house.
Why would you have the most vulnerable there? Why would you have them if you don't respect her? Why would you have the most vulnerable?
They've been living with her since her daughter was in the clinker.
Oh, so not by choice.
If you have your children at your mom's house, then you have to have a care for her health and well-being. You have to.
For your kids' safety.
Exactly. Yeah. It's one thing if she stands around there and cusses you out all day. Okay, that's her right to do. Then remove your kids from her house.
Yeah.
But I don't think they can. I don't think because it was at one point Skylar was living there. And then and I don't think Skylar lives there anymore. I may be wrong. I think it's just her and Scotty and Scotty's kids.
But Scotty, if Scotty is the one that is living there with her, Scotty needs to do something about it. Get Kyla to help her. I know Angela is a lot, but seeing her on do this as a woman of a similar age as her, this is very disturbing to me. And I just want to know, where is her family?
They're there and they're egging her on because that's their money.
Right, but she continues down this path, she's gonna be in a grave.
Right.
It's not right. It just isn't. And I come on here and I talk my foolishness and all of that, but this is hitting a different part of me, and I don't particularly like Angela or her behaviors or anything like that. But she's like a cornered rat.
Yes.
At this point.
You're right. A cornered rat. Because now she keeps saying she's bringing facts. She's not bringing any facts. She's giving us innuendos.
That's correct, Christoph. She left her dying mother for cash.
Yep,
not
she
for
did.
The love of Michael. Correct.
Selfish.
Yep, and the first thing she says is, I left my mama. No, you left because TLC said either you'd get this done or you're off the show.
Right, and she paid the ultimate price for that. She did. So do her children want to go and make the same mistake again?
Just to play devil's advocate. What was she supposed to do?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
This is her job. This is how she makes her income. This is how she makes her money.
Not anymore.
I mean, what was TLC's problem? They knew her mom was dying. I mean, that's really, really shitty.
But TLC doesn't care. They want footage for the show. They don't care.
And believe me, I'm not sticking up for her at all. I think she's a
Mhm.
really horrible person. But I'm just saying that it's her job. You know, if you don't go, you get fired. There goes your income. There
Right,
goes
but
your grandkids' income,
thing
all
with
of it.
that though, Bambi. Here's the thing with that.
I'd say
She
bye job, but that's just me.
no, but here's the thing. She had a storyline to fulfill, but she kept on missing the deadline. So they gave her an ultimatum and they weren't accepting any more excuses.
Yeah.
So she had to do it. Or basically, as my mom used to say, shit or get off the pot.
Basically, that's what happened. And wait a
Gotcha.
minute. So Christoph is saying that, good morning, Savage. I thought about you. I missed our weekly call, but I know you were away on business. So you and I need to talk, Savage. So you're exactly right, because TLC, from Christoph saying that TLC tried to convince her to wait, but she refused.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
And don't forget, when she went over to Africa, she was still trying to get out of the marriage.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Because she wanted, yep, she was.
And that's when TLC said, if you don't do this, we've come all the way over here yet again. And if you don't do this, we really don't have a story.
All that money they wasted. Yeah. I mean, it's a business.
Not like her
Wow.
one trip over there and she didn't get married. We were like 3 seasons in with her BS.
Wow.
And it's the same thing with Last Resort. Last season, they were like, listen, it's not entertaining you toting him around on an iPad. Nobody wants to see that. You cannot have a relationship on an iPad.
Not at all.
No. No.
And that's the only reason why he stepped foot on U.S. soil.
You got to kind of feel bad for the guy. I mean,
Why? He was a scammer too. But she and Debbie,
really?
They were in a mutual scamming relationship.
Yes, they were.
Okay, well, then screw him too.
But
and they deserve each other.
But in the 7 years, she has benefited more from it.
Gotcha.
She has benefited more from it because his ultimate goal, okay, so he got into a relationship with her.
Mm-hmm.
He had to marry her, knowing that he'll never get children from her.
Oh,
it's important to his culture. He was supposed to come over here. Who waits 7 years?
Nobody.
United States. Nobody. He had to give up his job. She never shared the money with him.
Wow.
But he stayed living at his mom's house. Whereas she has purchased
a new house.
She has done every plastic surgery from top to bottom, all of her jewelry, all of her high life, all of her lawyers that she says she got
$10,000
an
hour.
Wow.
And she has not shared a 50% because the two of them were in this together. Because who's going to watch Angela by herself? Nobody. Her because of Michael, and we watch Michael because of her. You see, they were a pair, but she never compensated him equally.
Oh, I'd be mad.
And he's always asking her for money, and she don't want him to work. She's always asking for money. He was always asking her for money.
That's gotta be degrading.
My thing is, if you never intended to be in a real marriage with this person, right? This was an arrangement. And you did finally get married or whatever. You're in separate continents, not countries, continents.
Yeah, totally separate places. Yeah.
You are out there flinging your flappy labia wherever you want to go.
Oh, so gross.
He couldn't even get a blowjob for his birthday. It's not.
Damn. And that's going to be your wife?
But and listen, and I'll say this to wind it up. It's easy to be in a relationship with a character like Angela when you're separated by the Atlantic Ocean. It's very easy because you could easily hit end on your phone call or your video chat.
Yep.
start
But
riling
to live
up.
with her on a daily basis,
Exactly, to be
yes,
physically present with her, and then for example, she gets angry and she puffs up and she starts putting the paws on him, and he's not going to fight back because
nope,
that's not how they were raised. And if he does, he's been pushed to the brink. He's like survival. You can't be in that. He's not used to that.
Right.
And you've taken him away from his culture, his family, the
yep,
ghost,
everything.
everything
His
that
language.
he knows.
Language barrier. I mean, yeah.
No language barrier because he know better English than
He,
she
yeah,
does.
he knows. Yeah,
No,
he speaks
shit.
English really well.
Oh, right on.
Yep,
I
he
mean,
does.
my
So
thing
totally
is,
different lifestyle here than in another country. Totally different lifestyle. No
Yeah.
family,
taking him
friends.
away from everything that he's known.
Yeah,
and
no safety net.
isolated him. And then on top of that, taking his phone so he can't even talk to his family.
Took his phone.
Yes.
God, that sounds like an abusive
And his
relationship.
passport,
That sounds
which
like
she
an
says
abusive.
she didn't, which she says she didn't. He had a picture of it in his phone. So that goes to tell you right then and there. But Debbie says that she has a picture of hers, which I forgot. I need to put a picture of mine in mine too.
Yes.
But
With your
she
child.
said that people do that, you know, just in case they're out someplace. And I know when I travel with Kayla, her passport always stayed with me. Now,
No, if you lose your passport and you have a picture of it on your phone, you can go to the U.S. Embassy
Yep.
or consulate.
Oh, so you
and
can use that as
yes,
identification.
yes,
Right on.
yeah. Anybody who
you.
travels overseas, no matter what country you're in, take a picture of your
passport.
Your passport, not the outside, but the inside where it lists your name and all of that, and the
Yep.
barcode. And if something happens to it, you can take that to the embassy.
Yep, you have it.
Okay. Good to know.
And Debbie, ever since you said that, I keep telling myself, but this morning I'm gonna go right in there and get it and take a damn picture of it. Good morning, Maria.
Heidi, I will hit you up.
I've been up since 2:32. Okay, I went to bed I passed out around 4:30, 5 o'clock. I did. I went to bed. I've been up working on auditors' numbers and reports, and my brain was just fried. And I just laid not on my sofa. I climbed in my bed, got underneath the covers, and went to sleep. So again. Oh, okay, let's finish this out. So I want to hear what the rest of you. This has been a great conversation. Thank you. Hold on, let me finish this out.
So informative.
So when she spoke about this bit here about being on a show again on my network, I believe there was a comment that she's obviously referring to, and that comment seems to have not really been there. I know sometimes the comments are a bit delayed when people are talking. Let's have a look here. Yeah, I don't really see the comment that she was actually referring to something in particular, but I'm assuming she's talking maybe about Michael being a 90-day single life.
Yep.
That's my only assumption on that one itself in particular.
But he hasn't been confirmed
maybe she's
for
trying
that.
to say that, hey, she's not going to be in the show because I am this
Good
network.
morning,
I'm not too sure about that one because that one was a bit hazy, but I'll let you have your own thoughts on what she meant on that one.
Okay, she's almost finished.
Popping again on my network.
Our network.
No, honey. So if all you women are just flocking in an illusion,
All
No,
you
I
women
am
are
with them.
flocking in an illusion.
trust me.
She's a
Not
piece
while
of.
I'm
Hold
with
on, let me
him.
just stop this. So I told you when she saw all these women sending him roses on TikTok, she would lose it. Look how she's acting, like a jealous woman. You did not love Michael. You didn't want Michael. He was a paycheck. You sat on national TV and said, when Michael get here, he's going to help me with mama, help me with these kids. You wanted a fucking slave. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
She took his passport. She took his phone. He is a slave. What's he going to do? I mean, think about it. That's what a lot of the Russian mob used to do. They get these Russian women over here, take their passports, and then start pimping them out.
Didn't know. Well, I'm have to start looking at that. Okay, hold on. Let's finish this out real quick.
Does that mean that Angela is not going to give this man a divorce?
Nope.
Let's just play that back again to make sure that we
She's
heard that
not.
correctly.
An illusion.
Illusion?
Not why I'm with him.
No, I'm with him.
Did she say that? Not while I'm with him?
Yep, that's
Let
what
me know,
she
because that's
said.
what I heard to myself in particular. So if that's what she's saying, then maybe she's saying that Michael will always be attached to me as long as
At least for
I'm still
10
married
years.
to him. Damn. So to be fair with you, now I go back to what I was saying before. Would I want to be in these days knowing that Angela Deem is responsible for me? Well,
Nope.
you know what? Let's add a new stipulation to that conversation. Would I want to be in the USA knowing that I'm married to Angela Deem and she's probably never going to give me my divorce? And even if she does give me the divorce, it's going to be a long time from now. Oh, yeah, she's about to make this man's life hell. Now, don't get me wrong. Does this stop him from dating other
She's
women?
already made his life hell.
But here's the thing, though. She's just played her hand, because if that statement alone, if he hasn't already, he's going to go. He's already laid the groundwork by telling the Hazelhurst police that he was in fear of his life, and that's why he left. So that's laying the first groundwork, because you've made a statement to the police. Now she is now saying that she will never let him go. He's going to do what Muhammad did to Eve and try to apply for that special loophole where you come over here on a spousal or K-1 visa and the partner is abusive. And so you need to get your status transferred over to that other visa.
I mean, he's not a U.S. citizen, correct? I mean, what's stopping him just going to Africa and saying F you? I mean, what's stopping him from going home and never dealing with it again? If he's not a citizen.
Part of the bargain that she was supposed to fulfill. He wanted to come over here.
Oh, gotcha. So he wants to be here.
Oh, that bastard. I'm sorry. My son is posting pictures in Paris at night by the Eiffel Tower. You bitch. Okay. I'm sorry.
A little
Hi, Marsh. Welcome. And guys that are coming in, if you're here now, we've discussed the disappearance of Caleb Harris. I discussed Glenn Rogers, thank you. I said Harris. Glenn Rogers and the ties he may have to Nicole Brown Simpson. And he was known as the cross-country killer and the Casanova killer. We are now talking about 90 Day Fiancé, not 90 Day, Angela Deem, a Dirty Bird, and every other name you want to call her, and the situation with Michael. So that is what we're discussing right now. So again, we just heard Angela say, basically, she's not giving Michael a divorce.
It's her way. It's just her way to control him. It's just another form of control.
Yeah, but giving him the reason to change to do what Muhammad was trying to do with Eve.
So let me just ask this. Oh my God, this one is beautiful. Killer and Justin together. I'm sorry. This is just here's the thing. When it comes to Michael, she keeps saying fraud. We saw the video, which I didn't play, of her with this other girl saying that she was going to subpoena Screen Rant because they said Michael has a girlfriend. When she has been pictured grinding on all these men, going over to Canada, and his name was on the tip of my tongue again, to go see him because he needed a cancer transplant. You had an accident with another man in your car. You got arrested for a DUI. You're always in some men's face, grinding and gyrating like you're all of that. And girl, you're not. Wow. Sit your ass down somewhere. Just sit the fuck down, because it's not a good look at all. It's not a good look. Not at all. So, oh my God, this is not a good look at all for her. These mofos. Hold on. You know what? I'm beginning to hate my son.
I'm beginning to hate him. I don't even know him.
I'm just joking. I don't hate my son. I love my son. He's sending me pictures to piss me off. I'm sorry. So, Crazy Cat Mama, I got to tell you what Nathan said. I talked to him earlier too. So this is my thing. So we know it's a mutual beneficial between both of them. Now what's the problem? She didn't realize he was going to leave her like this, or what? Or she wasn't part of the plan. Debbie, what do you think?
I think her problem is that he didn't follow the plan initially. When it first happened, he didn't follow the plan. How dare he? Who does he think he is? He needs to bring himself right back on over here. But as it's played out, and he has gotten support to get away, and the tide has turned against her, not only from the audience, but also with her employers. She's now, like I said, a rat in a corner. And she is spinning out of control. And
she's desperate.
She is, because she's realizing that her pay bag is drying up. So I guess her next thing is she's putting a bigger presence on social media. I wouldn't be starting up her YouTube thing, because I think she alluded to that in one of her rants. The thing is, you have to provide something for people to watch. I'm sure you have a dedicated base, but I don't.
And what we're watching right now is a damn train wreck.
But I don't.
I'm sorry.
The celebrity fades and they get desperate. We've seen this tons in celebrities. It starts to fade and then they get desperate, especially in reality TV. You see that a lot in reality. They start to fade and people do stupid shit, and then here we are.
But here's the thing. So we're talking about people that's fading on reality TV. So yesterday, I was live and I got a thing about Lita. She had more charges added to her, including bail jumping. And I'm like, okay, not all news is good news. So then you have, we're talking about Dorit and PK. I don't know if you saw this or not, Debbie and Bambi, but they've announced their split. They need to take some time apart. We saw that coming for the last 4 damn seasons. Okay. Same thing with Kyle and Mauricio. Mauricio has moved into a penthouse apartment. Who's surprised that Mauricio is not there? And then Sophie's mom. Yes, I did see Sophie's mom was arrested in Williams County, Texas. Don't know what she's arrested for. And I said this morning, when I saw it yesterday, I was going to look up her charges. But
I know what she got arrested for: terrorist attacks on family.
Look how many of these reality stars. It's like a reality show curse. Look how many of these people have destroyed their lives who have been on reality TV. I mean, and how many of these relationships actually work out? How many of these relationships actually work? The 90-day fiance.
A lot of them have been working. You have Annie and David. You have Lauren and Alexi. You have, oh my God. Oh, it's a lot. You know what? I'm going to have to go back. We're going to have to do Where Are They Now?
Hold up. Take Lauren and Alexi out of this, because that was way back in the beginning of the show when they actually.
That's when it was real. Yeah.
You brought up Annie and David. That was also a mutually beneficial relationship. The difference between that one and Angela and Michael is that David realized he needed Annie to make him appealing, and he realized that Annie was the moneymaker, and he shared equally with her.
Yeah, but how many of these relationships are really real? I mean, how many are they really based on love and not?
Because production does not look for real relationships anymore. They look for train wrecks. So all of these people are severely flawed, have issues before they get on this show, and the
mental issues
everything and makes it worse. So basically, they recruit them so that we can see the downfall.
And it's kind of sad that we watch it. Like, I mean,
it is.
It's about us. We watch the downfall of people's lives. But we do it online too. So, I mean, it's human nature. Human nature.
But this is a reality show. So people that are on the internet, okay, let's just do this. People that are on the internet, it's no pleasure in seeing a downfall. But when you're looking at these people on reality TV that are doing this shit, and then they want to come across like they're the victim, they're not the victim. Just like Mahmoud and Nicole.
Nicole, this show is scripted, right?
He's not a fucking victim.
Is this show scripted? I mean, it's scripted, correct? Like most reality shows?
Well, according to a lot of them, it is scripted. So she was charged with terroristic threats. That's a Class A misdemeanor. So she looks up to 1 year in jail. What's going to happen with Sophie's mom, Claire? She's going to lose her visa. She won't be able to come back.
It could be up to 4 because it got amped up because it was against family.
You can't get a visa if you make terroristic threats. If you have that kind of charge, can you?
Well,
You
she's
can't even
not
get a
supposed to have a
passport or
visa
anything.
because she has a drug issue.
You can't get a visa if you have a drug issue?
Correct.
Really? I didn't know that. Really?
Ask
wow.
Snoop Dogg why he can't go to a couple of countries because of and that's doing work. He had issues. What's his name? The boy that beat Rihanna, he had issues.
Chris Brown.
Yeah, and they're going there.
Wow.
They're going there for work, and they've had issues with getting visas to go and work because of
their record.
Drug stuff.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. I mean, I knew your record could keep you out of countries. I didn't know that, like, specific drug. You know, if you ever got caught with weed, I didn't know that could keep you, you know, from getting a visa. I don't know much about visas, so I've never.
So let me ask you a question: was the family member her daughter, or was it Rob? Had to be her daughter, right?
Well, based on the last things that she was posting on social media, she stated that Sophie was living with the girl again.
Kay, yes.
She's ranting about Kay trying to take over
and was thrown out the house. Yep, and she was thrown out the house.
Right. So I wouldn't I feel that it's Sophie. I feel like she's angry at Kay, but the terroristic threat against family has to be, I'm assuming it's Sophie because of her last rants against Kay. And that's where Sophie is living.
Now, like 5 days ago, she and Sophie were in a gym together because I went through her social media thing on IG, and Sophie is wearing her real hair now, which she doesn't have the damn wig on. But Sophie basically said that her mother had mental illness. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
nah, I wouldn't. Most people today have some form of mental illness, whether it's depression or anxiety.
But
I mean,
oh yeah. And we got Coach that is no longer with the other woman. You have Larissa that is no longer with the guy that, you know, all of this shit is but he's
And how much did COVID put a stress on people's relationships, on these people's relationships?
I don't think they ever did play anything because they weren't like Larissa came over here with Coachy because she thought Coachy had all this money and he was going to do this and that. That's why she came over here. Now, Jess, who was with Coach and now married to someone else, Jess is buying all this property and apartments in Vegas and fixing them up and renting them out. Now, her husband is supposed to be some type of musician. So these people are only using each other, point blank, period.
Right, but wait, Jess and the girl that was with Colt first, two different situations. Remember, Jess was here on a nanny visa first.
Yeah.
And I think she came from a better family than
a better family. Yes, she did.
Larissa did. Larissa was in a desperate situation, didn't have custody of her kids. Colt looked like a good opportunity to come to the States and start over, and anything was better than where she came from.
Right.
Had a way better family than Larissa did.
Yep.
A better financial background than Larissa did. She was already here in the States on a nanny visa.
Yep, she was.
Larissa had to sell herself to Colt to get here.
Yep, and now Debbie is in Canada with her boyfriend. They're not married last time I checked, but look at all of these different relationships. And if anybody in their right mind thought that Kimberly and Uzma was going to work out, y'all lost your damn mind.
That's crazy.
Get on TV. That's what Kimberly wanted to get on TV.
And then she can't take the criticism that's given to her. She may be a sweet person, but when you show your ass on national TV, people will commentate on it.
Yeah.
Just like her son, Jamal, who I'm going to start calling the hoe. J-Ho. Look,
J-Ho.
J-Ho, because he's trying to slip his ding into everything. Why don't you find a real woman and stay off these reality shows? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you got Natalie, who had a good man in Mike. Mike promised to bring her mom over here. He did that, and now he's divorcing her ass. He kept his promise.
Wow.
But listen, I think that was another mutually beneficial agreement too. I really do. He agreed to bring her over and get her mom over here as well. She was supposed to stay with him.
Yep. You're right.
And I think he started to believe her kind words to him.
Yep. And Mike is right. Mike's like 2 hours away from me.
Wow.
He's like 2 hours away from me.
Listen, his first wife, who left him for her girlfriend, did a lot of damage to him. And that's why he was so willing and able to fall into the mess with Natalie.
You're right. You're right. I'm trying to think, who else do we know? Okay. What about Kobe and what's her name?
Emily.
Emily. I was almost called it Eva. What about Kobe and Emily?
I think that is a real relationship, but and here's how.
And Bambi, I'm gonna need you to start watching these shows so you can come.
I am. Yes. I'll get caught up for you. I know Big Ed and Liz. I can't believe they got married.
Oh, we're gonna talk with them next. Thank you. But let's talk with Kobe and Emily real quick.
That's a real relationship, but don't forget they started their relationship in China, where she was a minority as well as he was. They were both minorities. So she probably had a different attitude when she was in China. But you bring her back over to Salina, wherever it is.
And now you see what attitude she has.
Exactly. But that took Kobe's a better man than I would ever be, because he adjusted. He could still see the Emily that he fell in love with. And then the children play a big part for him, so he will swallow a lot from her
for those kids.
Yep.
Now, Tina is right. I showed the picture of Mike's little wackadoodle, and he ain't working with nothing. He's got a helmet and a little shaft. That's it. He ain't working with nothing. Now, Bambi, you brought up Ed and Liz. What do you have to say about Ed and Liz?
Oh man. Okay, I started like kind of trolling Big Ed like a year and a half ago. I do it.
You were trolling him?
Yeah, like on Thursdays, me and my co-host, we would do a true crime show, and then we troll Big Ed.
Okay.
God, what a clown. He's such a clown. What a narcissistic clown. And I never understood why Liz would even tolerate his bullshit, even tolerate his narcissistic bullshit.
Well, Bambi, I'm gonna need you to act like you're from another country, get another picture, and start romancing him on IG. No, I'm just joking.
Oh shit. Yeah, he's married now. They got married. I can't believe they got married.
No, they're not together.
Oh,
they didn't get married. He called it off.
Oh, because the last video I watched, it's been a while. Last video I watched,
maybe they called it off.
Oh, about goddamn time.
He canceled it. And she didn't know about it. She found out about it from the Archbishop. He sent her a message saying, I'm sorry about the wedding cancellation.
What a little clown. He really thinks he's something too. And no neck having little clown. He does. He really thinks he's something. And
he's nothing. Okay,
I can't stand that guy.
Let's just finish this out, and then we're gonna talk.
Absolutely not. But does it stop him from obviously building a love connection that would lead into a marriage? Not necessarily stop his love connection, but it would definitely as though knowing. And this is why, and this is another reason why the sponsorships or whatever it is.
Damn, moving mad.
She's gonna be there to have you, and that's probably the situation we're looking at right now. Over one hell of a relationship with Angela, feeling like as if you can't breathe, to now know that you've obviously run away from her, but she still has that hold on you.
Not for long.
Not for long.
Damn, that's crazy. Yo, Michael, you're crazy. You need to go see someone. Nah, that 7 years was not worth it, bro. Definitely was not worth it. But let me know if I misheard that, though. But let's continue.
Listening. Yeah, remember I told you I'm gonna be in a movie. It's gonna be a little bit. But
She's gonna be in a movie. Hello?
Wait, she's gonna be in a movie?
That's what she said.
Is it a
Is
B
it
movie?
porn?
Is it a B movie?
No, she's gonna be
In a little bit.
Pornhub does not count. Pornhub does not count as being in the movies.
that's what that is. She gonna be in the background screaming.
Right? An extra.
maybe my own, maybe not. Maybe somebody else's.
Well,
Okay,
as you saw,
that's it. Okay,
Wow.
she's gonna be in a movie.
Wow. Yeah.
Now
and
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
be-
who's gonna put her in the damn movie. I have no idea. But
She's gonna be in a movie, and I'm gonna be the next Queen of America. Yeah,
Is that
Queen
is that a
Bambi.
bruise over her eyebrow though?
yes,
That's what I was wondering.
maybe it's from Botox, but her skin is not. Hold on a second.
But
Hold
you
on, let
don't
me go
you
find
don't
a
get
picture.
Botox injections over your like in your eye socket. That's down into her eye socket.
Yeah, but
You don't
she's
get
got
them-
a
you
lot
don't
of
get them
those
in the brow
brown
line?
spots like that. She does.
Well, I
She
thought the
does.
brown spots was like sun
It's-
damage.
I say, yeah, could it be sunspots? Because she is older.
Yeah.
Sun damage, because
I'm
the older
getting-
you
I'm
get.
getting a couple of those myself. I blame Grand Cayman for it. But yeah, I've got a few of those. But that
Me
really
too.
large one that Heidi you identified on
Uh-huh.
brow, like I know you get injections over your eyebrow, but that's going into her eyelid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
what I
not
was
on
wondering.
any
That's
of these
not-
pictures that I'm looking at either. It's not on any of these pictures that I'm looking at.
Are there any facial injections you get? Because you can't
Okay,
get
hold on.
wrinkles in your eyelids. I mean, is
Okay,
there?
hold on. Let me show you this picture. Hold on. Let me show you this picture.
Because what if she fell? Like
I don't know. She
seriously,
looks used up. She
where's
looks
her
used up.
family?
She does.
sounds
She
used
looks
up.
like she's used up. Okay, look at this. You see, there's a mark right here too. You see it? It's right on this
Yep,
one,
right there.
but not on these. But look at this. Look at all these brown spots. Look at that hole in her lip.
What the hell is that?
Look at her. Look at her.
She looks used up, and she sounds used up. She does. She looks used up. So I said she looks like an alcoholic. It looks like 30 years of alcoholism, maybe more.
I mean, I'm trying to see if there's another picture with her with that
my
on.
God. What in the world
Um,
is that picture?
I don't know,
Holy
but that's how she does, when she gets the filters and stuff on.
Yeah.
That's her. This is how she used to look.
Yeah, that's
She
the one
was
with
better
Gordon
when
Atkins,
she was,
right?
yeah, she was better like that.
God,
She
what
was better
happened?
like that. Okay, here's another one. See that mark?
Wow.
It's not,
Maybe it's a
it's not as pronounced as it is now.
Could it be a birthmark, maybe? Age spot?
I don't
Could
know.
it be age spot? Because she's like 60. Could it be like an age spot?
I don't have that shit.
I don't need, I mean, I don't have age spots either, but like, how some people get like liver spots? Could it be like, and if she's an alcoholic, could be, liver damage, early
Yeah,
signs
but
of liver.
she looks better there.
Did she burn her face on a stove? I don't know. It's possible, Beetle. I don't think she's a drug addict. I think she's an alcoholic. I think she has smoking and alcohol issues.
And with the weight loss and her skin and how it's just all saggy. So that's when Michael was supposed to be missing then. She's put the filters on then so she can talk about her husband missing. Okay. Here's a picture of Scotty.
God, she almost looks like Britney. She almost looked like an older Britney Spears in that one up there that you were.
Yep. So here's a close up. So we don't see that mark here. Look.
Jeez. She had plastic surgery? Because that picture looks like she's had plastic surgery.
No, girl, that's filters. Okay. That's filters.
Why would you use filters that make you look like that? That's horrible.
Because she thinks she looks good.
Oh my Lord. No.
That's filters.
No. She looks like somebody who's had plastic surgery and now the aging process is set in.
Look. You see all the way? Look. She had her boobs done, but you can still see they're sagging. Look at this.
Wow.
Look at that.
Jeez.
I don't know why she thinks that looks good. I just don't know. If you need to go to the gym and tone up. Look at this one. Heavily filtered. Look at that.
Yeah. Wow.
Here's another one. I don't see that mark over there.
I mean, I get losing weight and wanting to show off and being proud of that. Like somebody who weighs
I
300
understand
pounds
that
and
as
lose,
well.
they lose 100 pounds. I get wanting to show off and be like, look, I can wear a belly shirt. Look at me. Even though you still have some flab, I get that. But this is the above and beyond. Above and beyond.
So anyway,
Wow.
that's her. So I don't know why she thinks all of this looks good, but it's just she and Michael. Oh, I missed the commercial. And Michael never wanted her to have that surgery. He liked her just the way she was. Just
Doesn't she have like makeup and PR people that say, hey, that's a bad idea? I mean,
they don't care.
She's a quasi celebrity, right? So don't they have people that tell them?
Quasi celebrity, girl, stop.
No, well, like a B-list celebrity,
F list, B-list.
Yeah, but don't they have people that help them? Like TLC, they have PR people that make sure their stars aren't acting like fools. Yeah, where are people telling them this is a bad idea?
So this is where we are with her now. And I'm telling y'all, if y'all not following Michael on, I mean, he's boring as shit. I'm not even gonna lie. He's just like, thank you so much. All positivity, guys. No negativity here. He's not really talking. He's just bopping his head up and down, listening to music. You hear people in the background. Well, some woman was in the background, and you know, he's just bopping. He's boring as shit, but I'm loving it because it's eating Angela's ass up to see all those people in his live chat.
So he's taking the higher road.
Until that episode airs, he can't say anything. So
nothing.
He comes on and he just says all positivity.
Yeah, that's all he says. Yes, guys, thank you very much. I'm doing good. Yes, guys, all positivity, no negativity. People were asking him stuff about Angela. Guys, please, let's just be positive here. We're not talking. And every time they bring her name up, he goes, guys, please, let's be positive here. No negativity.
That's a bit of a diss, though, because every time somebody says Angela, he's saying, please be positive. That's
every single time. Watch him looking at the chat and somebody brings up Angela. Where's Angela? Guys, please, all positivity, no negativity.
Well, that's really the best way to handle somebody like her. Is just ignore her and just freeze her out.
I was in there just watching to see if her name popped up. So she's not, and then I looked, on TikTok, you can click to see everybody that's in there. So either she's under another name or somebody is sending her, but still I was looking, I'm like, oh, she's going to be pissed when she sees all of these roses.
Oh,
I was laughing my ass off.
You know, she's in there with a sock account. You know it. You know how these people work.
Yeah, because she said, thank you very much. And she was in there or somebody sent her a recording of it, but she was mocking his last live that he did. And I was like, damn. I said, yep, that's exactly what he said. So I'm just telling y'all, watch her. Anytime Michael goes live on TikTok, she's going to do another video. She was actually, somebody said when he went live on IG, she went live against him on TikTok, and he had more people in his chat than she did.
God, she sounds predictable. I mean, really.
So anyway, I'm just like, listen, but Bambi, I need you to start watching some of these reality shows. You can come up and join me in that. See, but you be sleep on Thursday nights when I go live. So you're gonna have to come up.
I am on my spring and summer hours, so I stay up later on spring and summer. So I'm out of my hibernation mode.
You're out of your hibernation mode.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I saw Square. Is that the guy from your chat?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was watching. How do you still? Yes, we're gonna review Baby Reindeer. Have you watched Baby Reindeer, Bambi?
What in the world is Baby?
You gotta watch it on Netflix. I'm gonna do Baby Reindeer tomorrow. Bambi, it's about a stalker. Her name is Martha Scott, and then she did an interview with Piers Morgan, and the woman that played her looks just like her. So Debbie, did you watch Baby Reindeer yet?
No. Who's she stalking?
You said that it's about a stalker?
Yeah,
Debbie, you gotta watch it. It's dark. Yes, she's stalking this comedian.
Okay, so
I
celebrity.
told Danny to watch it too because I really want a panel of people to discuss Baby Reindeer. I know Tina watched it. I'm gonna have Tina.
I'll watch
up.
it tonight. I'll watch it
Okay,
today.
I want a panel of people to come up and we can discuss Baby Reindeer tomorrow. So,
what time, ma'am?
I'm not gonna go live early tomorrow. Oh no, I gotta go grifting tomorrow. Tomorrow is grifting Sunday. I will be grifting for morning services tomorrow morning, and we're going to discuss Pastor John Paul Miller. I'm thinking about this other man that I was looking. I got to look up John Paul Miller and his daddy, the disgusting pastors and preachers. So we're going to have a sermon on them. So we're going to have a sermon tomorrow morning in the Church of Everlasting Fulfillment. Okay.
What time, ma'am? What time? I want to make sure I'm not live. So I can what time?
Probably tomorrow we're going to do Baby Reindeer. I think Maria and them go live. Probably around 1 or 2 if Maria and them. Let me check with Maria and see what time they're going to go live. If they go live and Cooch, because I don't like to go live because I know that they normally go lives on the weekends in the afternoons too.
Right.
So
I'm usually not. I'm not going to be live. So I just as long as I just want making sure if it's 8 o'clock in the morning, I'll make sure that I'm not live. So I'm going to check it out.
Wait a minute. You watched the drunk video of JP Christoph? Send it to me, please. So you think that? So watching Piers Morgan, I didn't get that. Maybe I need to watch it again. Watching the Piers Morgan interview made me think it was a setup. Well, you know, people take license, you know, to make it more dramatic. But let me watch it again and see if I get that, because I was skipping through. So yeah, I'm gonna watch it again. Put on Sunday best for great. Yes, put your Sunday best on tomorrow, guys. So Church of Everlasting Fulfillment. We're going to be in services tomorrow for 45 minutes to an hour. It depends on how much money I get because it's grifting. If I get no money tomorrow, I will be shutting the live stream down.
Members only. I'm done.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. They know that. It was on Mob. It was on a Mob career that you have to. Okay, Christoph, just send me a link or send me a message so I can find it. Just leave it in the comments after this video. So let me just tell you guys, Bambi, I know there's a lot of stuff that's going on with you. I know that you're in all, but here's the thing. When you're on my panel, I'm going to show you that respect like you do when I'm on your channel. I don't want anybody coming in here trolling and doing that kind of shit, because whatever goes on over there on your channel, that's your channel. That has not my channel. So I don't care about that. But again, I don't go in people's chats and do that, and it's not going to be allowed here. So I invited you on panel, and I thought about it for a second. I said, no, let me bring her up because I know I'm watching what you're typing, but you know, you're going to be my guest, and my mods are going to make sure that you're going to be respected in this.
I try to be respectable on other people's shows. I mean, my show's one thing. I try to be professional and respectful.
Yeah, so I don't do that, and I don't like it being done in here. I just don't have to be more clued up than that legal case waiting. Ooh, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch Piers Morgan. I'm gonna watch all of it instead of skipping through. But again, I don't know if you
heard me this morning. I don't know if you heard me this morning, but
no, I didn't go into your live yet this morning because I was on the phone talking to my son.
I did mention you. I said, when I have people that I respect, you know, women like Heidi Black saying things to me, and this was months ago. We had a conversation, and you said, what about this? You know, it really made me think, what am I doing? What am I doing? When I got people I respect hitting me up like, what are you doing? You
just like I hit you up yesterday about what hi Kobe, about what was sent to me. I didn't do it on a live. I came to you.
And again, that was forensics. That was not me. That was forensics. That was a text message of hers, not mine.
Okay. But still, I asked you about it. And that's the way I'm always going to do it. But again, I'm gonna come to you know, I know people may not like Bambi. They may have an issue with Bambi. But when Bambi is on my panel, please be respectful of my chat, because we don't do that over here.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so again, for everybody that's new, that's coming in, if you like the content, please go back and watch. We talked about Caleb Harris, Glenn Rogers, and we just did a whole thing on villains and assholes on 90 Day in the 90 Day Fiance franchise.
Please hit
Okay?
the like. Please hit the like.
Hit the like. But
hit
again,
no, just kidding.
no, I'm not. I'm good. But thank you guys for actually being here. I always have a great time when Debbie's on panel. And Bambi, you just made my morning.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You made my morning. Thank you for coming up. I really
Did you check the tracking? Did you check when's your bear coming? Because I'm really stoked about it. I'm really excited.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't checked it. I saw you sent it. I haven't checked it at all.
I'm guessing. When did I mail it? What
he probably did see the Northern Lights last night. He's sending me pictures and videos, so I'm gonna go look. But yeah, he's in Paris. He's a Swiftie now.
I'm jealous.
Oh, I'm gonna have to
the food, the sights.
Oh, hold on. Let me matter of fact, I'm gonna send it to you and Debbie. I'm not gonna put it. I mean, these pictures are absolutely gorgeous. Oh, wait a minute. Sophie said something about her mother's arrest. Oh my God. Sophie said her mother was trying to K her.
Whose mother?
I told you so.
What?
Sophie said her mother was trying to K her.
Sophie, that Sophie lady, that person?
No, Sophie on 90 Day Fiance.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a second. I was getting all confused.
That's why her mother's arrested.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I wonder how she tried to do it.
I don't know.
I wonder if she tried to hire a hitman.
Oh my God.
Let me look.
Mary Pants has it on her page. I just saw it. Mary Pants said that she was talking to a follower in DMs yesterday. She said, girl, stop. It's your mom. Don't send her stuff if you don't want her to share it. Really? So you think this is acceptable for my mom telling their child, whatever the photo she showed, don't comment on things you know nothing about. My mom has mental issues that are severe. Then the lady sent her a voice clip, and Sophie says, my mother is trying to kill me, but you enjoy your day. Oh my God. What the hell?
Sophie needs to stop answering DMs.
Wow.
Oh my God. So her and her mother are just girl, this is bad. This is bad.
Wow.
They're taking shit from reality TV to real life. Reality to real life. This is a mother and daughter that's going at it.
Wow. You got to have some real rage to try to kill your own kid. I mean,
but how do we know that's true? Just because she said it.
Well, and you got to be a real piece if you're going to try to say your mom tried to kill you when she didn't. You know, I mean.
But her mom said she went to visit because Sophie asked her to come, but Sophie is living with Kay. She's not living with Rob. This shit is crazy. And she says that Kay has cameras and watches Sophie all the time. So sounds like Sophie goes from one bad relationship to another bad friendship where she still doesn't. But she's got her OnlyFans. So why isn't she getting her own damn place? And stop living with all these damn people.
She sounds messed up in the head. You know what I'm saying? She sounds.
Yep. So I got to dig into this and see what the hell is going on. But
Don't
anyway,
forget, Sophie is like 23 and in a foreign country by herself.
And a quick reminder: Happy Mother's Day, early Mother's Day to all you mothers out there, and call your mom tomorrow. Go do something nice for her. Tomorrow's Mother's Day.
I talk to my mom all the time.
No, don't forget, tomorrow's Mother's Day. Call your moms. Tell her you love her. You know, do something nice.
I want that salmon. Girl, I just looked at the salmon dish. I think I'm going to make the salmon dish. Okay, I'm hungry. If y'all didn't see, I did oxtails the other day. Oh, my God. They were so good.
You make me hate you. You start posting food from New Orleans. When you were posting that food in New Orleans, I was like, I hate you. I hate
when I did my shrimp and oyster po' boy.
Yes, yes. I'm like, I hate that woman. Make me jealous. You know how I love food.
Oh my God. Okay, so just wait till I start posting food. Look, on my
Oxtail's a
next
German.
vacation.
Isn't oxtail's a German food? Isn't that German? Don't they do oxtail and like it's not like a
No,
German
that's more
Norwegian?
Jamaican. And
Oh,
oxtails
really?
used to be cheap.
Okay.
Now oxtails are really freaking expensive. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Oxtails are really expensive.
Really? Wow, I would never have guessed.
Well, all beef, really, really good. And I gotta
Really?
I saved Debbie a plate, but she didn't get here in time, so I just ate it.
Is it gamey or anything? I mean, what does it taste like?
Oxtail is actually cow tail. It's not ox anymore. It's just
I know it's
cow tail.
cowtail. Thank you for okay, thank you.
So you're
It's
not
all
actually eating
beef.
ox. So you're not actually eating ox.
And
you're eating cow.
honestly, you can trace oxtails back to slavery days because it was cast like the slaves got the parts that weren't eaten by the big house. So they got the tail, they got the entrails. That's why we do a lot of things with intestines, tongue, hoof,
very tender,
heads, all of
I
that.
didn't know that. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep. And I have a little bit left. So for breakfast, I don't have any more mac and pasta salad. So I need to go get some more shrimp. Because during the summer, I like chill salads. And I love a pasta and shrimp salad.
That sounds good.
Oh my God, it was so good. So, and I had a big container of it, but I was just eating it for lunch. And then when I made the oxtail, I said, oh, this will go good with oxtails too. So
no, that's really crazy how something that was considered not valuable, given to and given to slaves because it's not good enough.
Oh, I don't do beef cheeks.
Is now expensive. Is now like considered high end. So
yeah, I'm serious. Oxtails were cheap, and then everybody. I went to the meat market one day. I'm like, wait the hell a minute. Wait a minute. How much is this a pound again?
Wow, that's crazy. I'll let you cook me ox meat. I don't know about anybody else. I'd let you, but I don't know about.
No, I'm gonna. I think I want some. I think I'm gonna go get my little popsicle lamb chops today because I love lamb chops, and I would get them and marinate them. And I think I'm gonna have lamb chops tomorrow. So
do you grill them or are you gonna fry? Like, how do you?
I grill them on. Okay, so I put them on my indoor grill. I grill them. Nice. And then I'll make the stuff on the side, and then I'll put them in a skillet and pour it on top and just keep it. But I grill them. Yes.
Nice.
Oh, you had steak last night. Oh my God. I might have steak for lunch today after I eat my oxtails because I went to the store and I bought a lot of Angus steaks. I love Angus beef steaks. I'm
gonna make some New Yorks tonight. New York, some steak, some shrimp skewers.
And I like organic too. I've been eating a lot of organic chicken, and the flavor is totally different. And organic beef. So I'm just gonna go. I'm telling y'all, when I get a taste for something, I'm gonna do it. So Debbie, do you want some lamb chops too?
I'm not playing with you because you be putting time parameters on shit. You can keep them. I don't care.
Keep your lamb chops.
Okay, I tell you what. When we come to Florida, I will make you whatever dishes you want, and then you can freeze
put
them.
You to work when you on vacation. We going out.
Girl, I go up. Look, when I go on vacation, that's what they want. I'm telling you. When I was in Louisiana, I damn near cooked every other day. My sister goes, "Can you make spaghetti? Can you make the gumbo? Can you make the red beans?" No. I said, "Wait a minute."
If you're on vacation, we don't do that. No.
You sound like me. Like I want to cook for people. Like I come over.
They want me to cook. When Danielle is coming here, she's got all kind of dishes she wants me to make.
Right.
So I'm gonna do that. I don't mind cooking because I'm not a person that really likes to go out and eat unless it's steak and seafood. And don't fuck up my steak because you don't want to see me being upset. And if I want lobster and I tell you I don't want it rubbery and you bring me some shit that I got to chew at least 80 times before I can swallow, we got a problem.
Yeah, big problem.
Okay, so when we go out, we sitting at separate tables.
Huh?
When we go out, we sitting at separate tables because I forgot how demanding you are.
Okay, you heard my son tell you don't ever go out to eat with her.
I forgot about that.
You
I'll be
forgot
at a
about that,
different
huh?
table. Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
at a different table.
I'm serious. My son's like, when we're taking me out to eat, the last time me, Nate, and Brian went out to eat, Nate and Brian said, hey, excuse me, come here for a minute. Please, she wants her steak medium. Don't bring it to the table well done. Don't bring it to the table. Nate said, please, just do us a favor. Brian was like, please, I'll tip you. Tell them to make sure her steak is just how she wants it. So when the lady brought the steak, it was so funny. Brian said, oh no, give it to me first. He cut it to make sure what the inside. And then he handed me my plate. He goes, here you go. And then he said, here, give this to the cook. I was laughing so hard.
How often do you send food back when you go out? How often is this an occurrence with you?
Girl.
You send people out? Like,
girl.
I'm just curious.
Girl.
Every time? Once in a while?
My sister that was so mad with me on my birthday in Lake Charles, I ordered a tri-tip. I was bragging about them how good their tri-tip steak was. They bring me this tri-tip and I looked at it and then she left it. I said, excuse me. And she ignored me. So the guy, I said, excuse me. I said, what is this? She said, I said, no, this is not a tri-tip. I said, this shit is dried out. I said, what, you have it under the heating lamp? I said, do you think I was really going to eat this shit? Oh, I went off. They made me another steak and brought it to the table, right? I said, I don't want that shit. That's not what I ordered. So my sister told them to box it up. Girl, they gave us, she goes, ma'am, I'm not charging anybody for their meals. My sister said, no, charge me. I said, you can charge all you want, but I'm not paying. And they were like, ma'am, we took it off your. And then we went to the winery in Austin and everybody got their food and they're looking at me. I said, what? Did you run out of steaks? I said, you killing the cow? Girl, when they brought the steak, it was wrong. I said, I'm not eating that shit. So then they made me another one. I said, I don't even want that bullshit no more. I was so mad. Don't bring that shit I'm not going to eat. I went off. My sister said, oh shit, we got to go because she's getting ready to go off. My sister said, come on, sister, let's go outside. But I said, no. She was like, come on, please, let's go. Let's go. I said, and then they brought me a steak. And the steak, the second one they brought was right. I didn't eat it until my sister said, here's your damn steak. I said, I don't want it. Everybody ate but me. And my sister, people are going, honey, where's your food? And I'm looking, I'm like, where's my I was the second one to order.
That's like a double insult.
Of us.
That's a double insult. Not only do you have to wait extra longer than everybody else, and then they bring you the wrong food. I mean, that's like a double
wrong food. And so I've learned now to just go to a seafood restaurant because if I go to a steak place and my steaks are not right, now the steak, we had prime rib in Vegas. That shit was right on point. I told them exactly how I wanted it. And Crazy Cat Mama was sitting there and Danielle sitting there. And when it came to the table, I'm like, okay. All right, that's what we're talking about. Okay, we good. And then Danielle, Crazy Cat Mama, just put her head down. She was like, thank God. Don't bring me some shit that I'm not going to eat.
Right.
And don't bring it to me because we're not going to have a good day. And don't bring me some shit that's been sitting under a heating lamp and you fucking think I'm going to eat this shit.
Yeah, so especially when they charge you $50 for what
we ain't playing that. I embarrassed my sister and them so bad. But got to remember, I was a little inebriated, and we have been drinking and partying, and that made it that exacerbated everything. And I was watching one of the videos the other day of one of the drunk drivers on body cam. I said, yeah, that sounded like me in that restaurant that night. I went the fuck off. But I've gotten better. I just say, excuse me, I'm not going to eat this. And they'll ask me why. I say, because it's not what I ordered. Well, do you want anything else? No. If I wanted anything else, I would have ordered something else. And they're like, yes, ma'am, excuse me. And they'll take it off my bill. So I've gotten better. I've gotten better. So you guys are safe going with me to the restaurants now. You're safe. Everybody's safe. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Bambi, thank you for coming up. Debbie. Thank you for being here. Huh? Oh my God, Bambi, I'm glad because I was watching what you were typing in the chat. I said, let me see if she wants to come up here. So yes,
it's a pleasure.
Yeah, you're welcome to come up anytime. So anyway, Saturday. Oh, see, it's a good start to your Saturday. But I'm gonna go. I really appreciate each and every one of you being here. Have a great day, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Debbie, don't go nowhere. Damon.